Hill climbing is one of the most popular forms of motorsport. Drivers compete against the clock over a tarmac course, typically around 1 to 1.5 kilometres long. It attracts a whole range of cars, from road-going saloons to specialised single-seater racing cars. The British Hill Climb Championship is the pinnacle of the sport, with over 150 drivers tackling 14 events around the UK, including Northern Ireland and the Channel Islands. The contest for the title of British Hill Climb Champion is dominated by powerful race cars, with reigning champion Wallace Menges driving a Gould single-seater powered by a 3.3-litre Cosworth engine designed for the Indy race car series in the USA. The BHC Cup runs alongside the main championship and is fought out between a wide range of cars, all running in classes of similar type of vehicles, from road-going saloons all the way through to specialised single-seater race cars.
Shelsley, as the continued success of the hill, you get discounted access to tickets, and if you become a member today, you will recoup your investment between now and the end of the season. There are still events there, but it's still financially more worthwhile to be a member coming back to multiple events just by clicking on top. So, if you become a member, it's a great way to support the event and to show your support, so that we can continue benefiting from motorsport in the old.
I think it is now, and if I've got that wrong, Toby Moody will be shouting at somebody and waving at me, but I think it's 119th season. So do become a member of the MAC.
We're away, by the way.
Good. Perfect time.
Yeah, we're away. Chris Westwood's on his way up towards you in his Lotus Elise.
The Elise S2, very smooth through the kink and into bottom S, heavily braking.
Into my view now, lovely little Lotus Elise with a hard top. Cars always go faster with racing stripes, don't they? That's got to be worth a couple of tenths of a second, and
yes.
Chris is off towards the finish.
Yes, okay, Paul Shaw's just left the line in his Ford Fiesta. We are now live stream, Billy, and I'm getting a live stream feed down here, which you'll be seeing tomorrow when you're in here.
Oof. You probably heard the slight moment he had there through crossing, but it's all okay.
Yes, he's into my sight now, nice and neat and tidy through bottom S. Throws it into top S, bit of a screech at times, but nice and tidily through. So it's Paul Shaw on the way to the finish.
Okay, Simon Baker just left the line in his Porsche Carrera. Very nice looking Porsche. Got loads of them here today, and there's an Alfa 4C about to follow it.
Yeah, Simon, bank to bank, he's making use of all the tarmac he's got, borrowing a little bit there, and the kink, heavy braking, down 2 gears. Another dab of brakes before he turns in.
Very pretty car this, love the gold wheels, very neat and tidy through bottom S, carries lots of speed through top S, a little bit of a wiggle as he comes out of top S, but nothing to worry about, he's off towards the finish.
Will Goff away in his Alfa 4C, what a stunning looking car that is, I do like that one.
They are handsome cars, shovelled through the hierarchy of Alfa Romeo by the late Karl Feld. He was going to do an 8C as well, where everything was twice the size, but they wouldn't quite wear that before he departed the company.
Lovely car into my sight now, very pretty. Turns it beautifully through bottom S, turns it nice and neat, going through top S2, gets on the power early, puts the power down, he's away towards the finish.
Jamie Lacey leaves the line in his Seat Leon Cupra R.
We've got a time there for Will Goff of a 37.10.
Yeah, the Cupra is through me and going very nicely into bottom S, heavy braking.
Yes, into my sight now. I love the wheels on this. You're not going to miss those, are you? They're same colour as Wallace. On Wallace Mingus' car, actually. But he's through top S, nice and neat and tidy, off towards the finish.
Yeah, Nigel Mee just left the line in his Subaru Impreza, gone through Kennel.
With me at crossing, Takes the rally car line, hardly surprisingly. Still got his chicken hanging out the back of the boot there. Someone ought to put that in a cockabell or something quickly.
Into my view now, great colour scheme on this Subaru. Reminds you of rallying in the 90s, doesn't it? He's already passed me, no trouble at all up towards the finish.
John Petherick's on his way to you in the Caterham Super 7.
Yeah, this is the prisoner car, I'm going to call it, for anyone of a certain age who remembers those things. British Racing Green with the yellow nose. Not running as number 6 though, annoyingly, but 206 is close enough.
Into my view now in this lovely little Caterham 7. Carries lots of speed and uses all the road through the S's, no trouble at all. But a little bit crackly on the throttle as he heads up the finishing straight across the line.
I think we should recognise that Nigel Mee has just set a class record in his 36.58.
Well, that's outstanding. John Petherick on his way to you now, and he'll be followed by Philip Copeland. Sorry, Philip Copeland on the hill.
Philip Copeland in the Morgan. Yep, the Morgan +8, 3947. Very specific CC declaration there.
Yes, into my view here in the... They're a lovely company, aren't they, Morgan? They make fantastic cars. They've still got a waiting list. You can't get one for like a year, so which is fantastic to see.
You can buy mine faster than that. It's for sale.
Across the line.
38.93 for Philip.
I've just signed it off a minute. I have a visitor.
Did you catch what you had? Anyway, Andrew Wilcox through now in the Caterham Super 7 and with you already.
Yes, again, they just make such great hill climb cars these, don't they? These locator fields, as they're called, Caterhams, Westfields and Lotuses. He's already passed me, is Andrew. He's up the finishing straight and he's across the line now to record a 35.89.
Here comes Matthew Hyde in about 240 brake horsepower Mini Cooper S. Brilliant, distinctive logo on this one. Very nice indeed.
You can hear that supercharged engine working hard. Matthew from Shirley, and he's into left-hander now.
Yes, into my view again, a car whose wheels you're not going to miss. The distinctive whine of the supercharger, and he passes me, carries loads of speed through the S's. Really nice lines there. He's off and towards the finish.
And here comes that VW Golf, the turbocharged VW Golf. It's got about 440 brake horsepower in this front engine car. Absolute beast of a car. This should be Stephen Esselmont. It's a 1.8 Golf with a massive turbo, intercooler and all the rest of it. Here he comes now in the same colour scheme. He developed this car and it's very rapid.
It surely is.
It's a track car, by the way.
Yeah, he takes a tight apex left into crossing, holds it out very tight in at the kink, which gives him time to drift across and turn in late.
Into my view now, immaculately turned out car, isn't it? Big squirt of power through the S's, nice and neat and tidy, popping and banging on the rev limiter as it comes out of top S, up towards the finish now.
Okay, Dougie Cant in the Force HC. Now this is Mark Schlanker's old car from last year, and Mark Schlanker's now got a Price's car.
Yeah, Dougie very committed in this car. He seems to have got used to it enormously quickly.
He does, lovely through bottom S, a little bit screwy, nice through top S. He just clips the bank, but he gets away with it. He just touches the bank on exit, but as I said, he got away with it. He's towards the finish now, across the line.
28.94.
Nigel Trundle, anything but trundling in his Mazda MX-5 on his way to you.
He is indeed. We assume we don't have Howard Harman in the Saloons and Sports up to 1971 with the MGTC, which means we have no representative of that era. But Nigel Trundle very committed in the MX-5.
A beautiful car. This is I like what they did with this generation of MX-5. By the way, lovely lines through the top S, but they actually went smaller and lighter than the car it replaced, which I think is a fantastic thing to do. Anyway, across the line.
Arnie, he's flying. Arnie is absolutely on it. He's hurling this Audi around, taking it by the scruff of the neck.
Yes, he's popping and banging. He's into my view now in the blue RS3. Big squirt of power between the S's. Back on the brakes. Carries loads of speed through top S. And a bit of understeer, but he's up towards the finish now. And he's across the line.
Yes, so Nigel Trundle said a 35, but then 32.29 for Arnie Fleck as Kim Adams leaves the line in the Lotus Elise.
Whichever variety of Elise, they are such attractive cars. They got it so right with this car that they're still sought after as track day weapons and a good hill climb starter.
Yes, they are indeed. This is quite an early one, I reckon. This might even be a K-Series car. Throws it through top S, little bit of a slide, but beautifully controlled. Very nicely done through the S's. Up towards the finish now, takes a gear and crosses the line.
Melvin Cox on his way to you in the MX-5.
35.46 for Kim Adams. Melvin Cox in the Mark 1 MX-5. It's the 1600. It's the Bobby Basic model, but fabulous thing to take to the hills on.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, he's already past me. Again, yeah, great starter hill climb car this. Great value for money. Nice and neat and tidy from Melvin. Is off towards the finish. He'll be there soon.
Michael Crutchley leaves the line in the Alfa Romeo Guilo. Lovely old car. This is a Formula Rally car from Ireland.
43 seconds dead for Melvin Cox. Michael Crutchley passes me now. Alpha twin cam working very, very hard. It's an awful lot of metal to shift around this particular car.
Yes, it just reminds me of police cars in the Italian job, this car. It's absolutely brilliant. Very pretty car indeed. Just missing a siren. Apart from that, it's perfect. He's already through the S's and off towards the finish.
I've got the Marcos with me now. Bit of a missed gear there. The revs went up, but he's got it under control. So much torque in this engine, it probably doesn't matter that you're in the wrong gear.
No, I don't think it does. But a lovely car, this. I think they're wooden, aren't they, these? At least the chassis, I think.
The early generations were. I think they've done away with trees by this era.
Right, okay.
By the Mantula.
Colin Seaward on his way in the Mazda MX-5.
Yeah, Colin in the very much road legal Manta SM57. Mazda rather. Very tidy car, dip of the brakes, another longer brake application into the S's.
Lovely, into my view now. This is the most sold and purchased sports car in the world, the Mazda MX-5, a phenomenally successful car. I think this is a Mark III. Anyway, it's already passed me. Nice and neat and tidy through the S's and across the line to record a 43.94.
Colin Seaward in very much, I wish it was a Lotus Elan colour scheme on his Mark II MX-5.
Yes. Oh, I think this is this Emma? Emma Ali?
It is Emma.
I do beg your pardon.
That's all right. No, she's already passed me. Nice and neat and tidy through the S's. Love the hard top on that as well. Very pretty little car. Up towards the finish and we'll be across the line in a moment.
Stuart Watson's on his way in the Mazda MX-5. We've got a few of these right here now.
This is almost an MX-5 class, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah.
Yes. We've had I think we might have had all 4 generations of MX-5 represented. We've filled the bingo card.
Well, looking at, I've got Noor Ali on the line as well in the Toyota MR2. So I don't know if they're related, Emma and Noor.
Maybe indeed, but Stuart's passed me. Roof down motoring, why not?
Emma
Fantastic.
Is the first of our MX-5s to dip under 40 seconds.
That's very good indeed. And I am seeing some times, so we'll take you through the class times, how people stand at the end of the batch. Into my view now in the MR2. These are mid-engined, aren't they? I think they're 1.8 litres, mid-engined. Very nice little car, sort of Toyota's response to the MX-5, really.
I think the latest ones were 2, weren't they? 2 litres?
Were they 2 litres, were they?
I think the latest ones were, yeah.
Across the line for Noor, 39.91 into the sub 40 seconds. Good run.
Just to let you know, I've got Sean West waiting on the line. Sean West is on the hill in the MX-5, and I've got another 2-tone Lotus on the line, a green and yellow stripe job, which is Martin Roberts. Yeah. Martin Roberts is on his way.
It's a bit of a wiggle as Sean came through top S, so he had to get out the power, so that'll have cost him time up towards the finish. Apart from that, it's a good run across the line, 37.60.
The Lotus through me and past now. The reversal of the usual gold and green, more gold than green, but nice stripes. As you say, they go faster with stripes, don't they?
They do indeed. Nice and neat and tidy through bottom S, gets it right over to the left for passing up through top S. Nice and neat and tidy through top S. Plumb in the middle of the road as he heads up the finishing straight. Cross the line, 36.31.
The gruff rumble tells you it's the second of our plus 8s with the Buick-derived V8 engine.
Yes, they're into my view now. A bit of a nice and neat and tidy. Sounds great, this car. Clatters the drain cover on the the middle of top S. Bit of a wiggle as he came out of top S, but nothing to worry about. Up the finishing straight and across the line now.
Here comes the rumble of the TVR Tuscan of Rob Pack. This is a spectacular looking car. Open top, fantastic engine, isn't it?
It is. It punches you in the gut, does this, when it's on song. Really aggressive, nicely placed, good driving. First dab of the brakes, little short, and then squeal of the brakes as he gets on them fully.
Oh, it seems to be, we seem to have some steam or smoke was just coming out from the right-hand side. I don't know if that was a rubbing tyre as he came through the S's, but seems fine. Across the line now, 33.92.
Now that's an end of a batch there, Billy, so if you want to give us a few times.
Yes, of course. Yeah, a bit of tyre rubbing there from the TVR, but seems to get away with it. So if we go through the classes, we've got Class A1B. Now, at the moment, Simon Dudfield hasn't set a time in that class, which means it's a class of 1, which is Chris Westwood, who's on a 39.40 in the Lotus Elise S2. Class A2B, which is for series production road cars over 2 litres, currently being led by Simon Baker on a 35.75. That is in the 997 Porsche. Followed up by Will Goff in the Alfa on a 37.10. Third is Paul Shaw on a 38.50. Paul driving the ST Fiesta. And then fourth, Jamie Lacey in the Cupra R on a 39.18. Class B for road cars, specialist production cars, currently being led by Andrew Wilcox on a 35.89. That's in the Caterham Super 7, followed up by John Puthra on a 37.07, and then Philip Copeland on a 38.93. Class C3B, so this is for modified series production cars over 2 litres, being led by the Volkswagen Golf on a 36.24. That's quite a monstrous car, that. Second is Matthew Hyde on a 36.53 in the Mini. So those two only separated by 0.3 of a second. So all to play for on their second time runs later today.
Those, by the way, were Lapworth Motorsport. They're from Lapworth, near where the canal runs through there. And very nicely, they've got a garage over there, but I thought those cars, when I looked at them in the paddock earlier, beautifully turned out cars.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, and very nicely put together, and very nice, good owners as well.
Yeah, they're going back past me now. They're both black with fantastic orange wheels and orange details, but they're both immaculately turned out, and a really close battle between the two of them, which is great to see.
And new to the hills.
Yeah, I've not seen those cars before.
Yeah, they said that they'd been doing track days and circuit stuff, and they just fancied to go hill climbing, so welcome to them. Good to see new cars coming, isn't it?
New cars and new drivers, exactly that.
Absolutely.
We've also got most of the times for the classic Marque's championship, which is Classic Marque's Speed Challenge, which is the other one-day event. I won't take you through all of them because there's about 20 runners, but it's currently being led by Arnie Fleck in that monstrous Audi RS3, who did a 32.29. Second place on a 33.92 is Rob Pack, which was in the TVR Tuscan you just saw. And then third, fourth and fifth, all really close. Kim Adams on a 35.46 in Los Elise. Then Nigel Trundle on a 35.85, and Nigel is driving the MX-5. And then Rob Toon on a 35.95, and Rob is driving the Morgan Plus 8. So really close for the final space on the podium in the Classic Marque's Speed Challenge.
Nice little batch of cars there. The Audi impressed me, I have to say that. I mean, a 32 is that's nipping
quick
along, isn't it? That is nipping along. I was impressed with the Mini and the Golf, and also Mark Schlanker's old car was driven very well, wasn't it?
Yeah, by Dougie Kant, did a 28.94, which
young driver, first time here, you know.
Is it really?
Yeah, so I think he's got a bit of talent, hasn't he?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Shame he's only doing the one main day meeting. He'd do well in the main two-day, wouldn't he?
He would. Just while we wait for the next batch up, chaps, while I was having my sandwiches, which were very enjoyable, thank you for asking.
How are your sandwiches?
Can I interrupt you there a minute? It says commentary by Chris Ponsford, Lloyd Hackett and Billy Grace. Well, not forgetting Guy Loveridge up at Crossing. So he's not put you on the screen, you see, guys. So I didn't want you.
I appreciate that,
going
but
off
that means
on me, so-
means I'm going to shut up for the rest of the afternoon.
So anyway, but it's all great.
A gentleman knocked on the door, I opened it, and he thanked me for the commentary. Now, I can't take credit for all of it, obviously, but it's always good to know we're being appreciated by the people who are here, let alone the people who are hearing us on the live stream.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Fabulous. Well, I've got a Lotus Elise. It's not telling me who it is a minute, but
717.
yeah.
Michael Thompson, I think.
Ah, right.
Yes.
A lovely turned out car. This, I think, is an Exige looking at it. So the hard top version of the Elise. Very nice car, very quickly through bottom and top S. Slap bang in the middle of the road as he heads up the finishing straight.
Now Michael Thompson, yes, of course, he's normally is with Zoe Sherman, but if it's the same Michael Thompson. Robert Wilson just left the line in the Elise.
Yep. We're on to page 19 in the programme for those following through, and Michael Thompson, a 3377.
Yes, Robert Wilson now into my view. Usually competes with this car with Dad Dave. Very neat and tidy through the S's from Robert. Uses all the road on the exit of top S, and across the line now to a record of 34.51.
Here comes Mark Lawrence, just left the line in the Porsche Cayman. Very rapid Cayman, that one.
Lovely car, the Porsche Cayman. We see a few GT4 versions being hill climbed, which are fantastic hill climb cars. I think this one is a. I don't know if this is a GT4, but I'll see what it says. I don't know, it's not. It's lovely. It's GTS, very nice car. So this is the 4-cylinder turbo version, very quick as it left top S across the line now.
Yeah, the shared car of Joy Hoyle and Ray Lower. Joy's just left me now in that Caterham 7 Super Sprint. Very rapid local driver.
Yeah, through crossing very smoothly, leaving it out, yeah, late apex at the kink and into bottom S.
Rise very quickly into my view, little nibble at the curve at the bottom of bottom S. Nice late apex at top S and on the power smoothly. This is going to be a good run from Joy. It's going to be quick. She goes very well in this car. She's up the finishing straight. She's across the line. 34.36.
Martin Dyson in the GT6. Very, very pretty little GT6 in British Racing Green. Don't see many of those.
No. Sounds like he's playing with the overdrive, actually. Overdrive third to normal third. We've leapt up to the TR challenge.
And by the way, we've got Len Olds just left the line in the TR4. That's a very good looking TR4.
The GT6 Martin Dyson just passed me. It sounds a bit fluffy as he was
waffly, isn't it?
Yeah, he was trying to clear its throat as it came out top S.
Nothing wrong with TR4, Len Olds, that's just gone past me, roaring away on its 4-cylinder engine.
Yes, love these little TR4s. And this one running slicks, very quick through bottom S, very quick through top S. This is going to be a quick run, very neat and tidy.
Roger McEwen has left the line in the TR6, and as Len Olds goes up towards the line, finishes in a 35.61.
Yep, a mustard-coloured American spec TR, as illustrated in the programme, doing very nicely indeed.
Yes, into my view now, slightly more leisurely than the previous TR we saw. Roof down motoring as well, nice and neat and tidy through the S's towards the finish.
The TR3 on the hill now, the TR3A, really attacking it hard, slid. It was a four-wheel drift, a genuine four-wheel drift at Kennel, and I expect you might see a bit more of the same in the S's.
View arriving into my view now, nice and a little bit more neat and tidy through bottom S, gets it right over to the left before throwing it into top S. Very nice line through top S, using all the road on exit, off towards the finish.
Yeah, Steve Small just leaves the line in the burbling TR7 V8. Looks absolutely terrific, sounds amazing.
Yeah, TR7 V8 white with the twin red stripes. Thundering up, changes up to top, then doesn't leave it long before a drop down for the S's.
Yeah, this is a quick car, this, through the bottom S. Big squirt of power, sounds lovely this car. Nice and neat and tidy through top S. Bit of a wheel spin as it came out top S as he put the power down up towards the finish. Across the line now.
Yes, so we're looking there. He's done a 36.45. Len Olds in the TR4 was the quickest there, 35.61. Steve Small did a 36.45, and Roscoe Hames did a 38. The times have just gone off my screen. Have you got them up there, Billy?
Yeah, Hamish Roscoe 38.59, Martin Dyson 43.56, Roger McEwen 45.15.
And that's an end of a batch. So there'll be a little quiet recess while they come on back.
Yes, so that, I think, was that their second practice run?
I think it was their second practice.
Right, so then they will do, yes, that was their second, yeah, I think.
Was it their first account?
Might have been their first time run. Yes, I'm thinking, looking at my screens, I think that was their first, their first timed run, if you will.
On the live stream, I've got watching from the Channel Islands and enjoying it. And hello from Argentina. Goodness me, Mr. Osvaldito. We've got hi from a non-hilly Norfolk, Paul C.
Yeah, with the British Hill Climb Championship, never really goes to Norfolk. I can't think why.
No.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps is there no hills in Norfolk? None at all.
No, not really.
Is there not? Is there not?
No.
There's a large speed bump outside Norfolk Tesco's. That's about it.
We got Pedro Lee watching from the French Alps. It's amazing. I just can never believe how far away people are watching, actually. It's incredible, isn't it? Sunny Glasgow. Have a lovely weekend.
We do usually get some Australian viewers, and if so, they'll hopefully be in to support Mr. Penrose, who obviously is here.
Well, Wayne is a star, isn't he? We love Wayne. I've got a bit of details on his car, by the way. We'll quickly do. Basically, he purchased the car in 2010 as an incomplete car requiring full strip and down and rebuild. He is actually a VW air-cooled specialist in Australia. He's been over 30 years in his business down there. And anyway, he totally rebuilt this car. So it started off as a 1974 VW Superbug 1303L. But if you look at the car, there's lots of steel in the car still. So it's on its full steel original VW body, shell and doors. It's got fiberglass bonnet and guards and engine lid. And it runs, basically it's got a... Oh, hang on, we've got cars coming to the line. So we'll do a bit more of that one later on. But anyway, it's a 500 odd plus horsepower at the wheels, that VW.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a beast, isn't it, to say the least.
Just a bit, yeah.
2 months to ship the car over on the ferry, or ship rather. Anyway,
He was on the ferry as well, was he?
It's a long ferry. Graham Manson's about to leave the line in a lovely little Westfield, very quick little car. They're lovely. This is that little grey one. Stunning car, 2.87 off the line.
Yep, through to me it comes now into crossing. Holding it on the throttle, change up into the kink. Slightly late apex there, but that's allowed it to drift wide onto the right.
Yes, appearing into my view now, turns it nice and steadily through bottom S and through top S. Remember, this is for the 2-day meeting, so we're still on practice runs here rather than full-on timed runs for tomorrow, but away towards the finish.
Yeah, I've got John McQuillan just left the line, and the Team Valley Motorsport Radical SR1, nicely turned out in the Golf colours. John is sharing with legendary Marshall Mike West. I can't get that one in. Marshalls, I love that one, you fellow Marshalls.
Big nodding here at top S.
Very, very Golf, that car. Very Golf.
It's lovely, isn't it? That's a fantastic colour scheme in the SR1. Through top S as well, already up towards the finish. No dramas up here.
Sam Nicholson for you.
In the unusual Mallock, it's not a common Mallock, this turn 20.
It's a very quick Mallock. Samuel going very quickly in this car, throws it through bottom S, throws it through top S, carries loads of speed through the S's there. This is a quick car. They go very well in it. Across the line, is it sub 30? Not quite, 30.20. Good time though.
Now, on the line, I've got the Citroen Saxo. It's saying Tom Weaver, but I suspect that's more likely Lizzie Weaver, because Tom's here in his single-seater, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Number 7. Yes, I think
that's going to be Lizzie.
Yes, I think so.
Unless Tom's got a problem with his single-seater.
Well, 75 is in the programme as an Empire Evo 2.
Yeah, that is Tom. So this isn't Tom. This Empire Evo 2 looks suspiciously like a Citroen Saxo.
Yeah,
going very well indeed. I think that would probably it could even be Bruce Aitken, maybe in the 135.
Yeah,
they're not sure. I think they
somehow reversed their
yes
timing.
The Saxo will be Lizzie Weaver, I think, because that's their car. But so Tom will be up in his Empire in a bit, and Andrew Feakin's on the hill in his Renault Clio.
Yes, into my view now, cocking a wheel as it enters bottom S. Nice and neat and tidy through top S. If you can hear a squealing, that's not the brakes of the Clio, it's the excitement of our fellow colleague Lloyd of seeing a Clio on the hill.
Is he turned up yet? Is he there? Not
He's
yet.
around, jumping up and down.
Yeah, I expect he is. Richard Pates is just joining you with his MG.
Yeah, Andrew Feakin's a 35.99. The MG ZR160 going very nicely, doing it all perfectly capable job.
Yeah, good little hatchback these were in their time. Nice and neat and tidy through bottom S, nicely through top S. Very nicely done up towards the finish.
Yeah, Zoe Sherman joining you now in the Lotus 6E. She was with Michael Thompson was driving his car earlier. That's her husband. Anyway, they go very well in this little car. This is actually owned by Zoe.
Zoe into my view now. Turns very nicely through bottom S. Big squirt of power as she comes through. Exit top S, very neat and tidy. Feeds it the gears up towards the finish, across the line now to record a 36.33.
Bruce Aitken in the Citroen Saxo VTS, just coming up towards Kennel now.
Yep, through Kennel nice and clean, gets it over to the right hand side of the track, keeps it dead central to apex at the perfect point at crossing, which allows him to carry a fair bit of speed for a road car like this.
Yes, into my view now in the Citroen Saxo. Almost standard, doing a great job very quickly indeed. Nice and neat and tidy through the S's. Carried loads of speed on exit of top S. Pushing up the finishing straight now and across the line.
Okay, we have some confusion. It says Stuart Hook in a Renault Clio, but that's not a Renault Clio. And so we'll make of that one what you will.
Yeah, this looks MX-5y to me. Yeah, that's back down to number 19. Yeah, Stuart Hook, Lotus. I think he swapped his Clio for an MX-5.
That makes sense.
Oh yes, this is very nice. Mark 4, latest Mark MX-5. I love these cars. I think they're great. Very neat and tidy through the S's up towards the finish.
David Wilson in his Lotus Elise just left the line.
It was a big decision for them to get rid of the 205 and switch to an Elise after years of campaigning the 205. But they go very well in the Elise as well. Into my view now, bit of a, lovely, uses all the curve in bottom S, throws it into top S, very neat and tidy and quick from David as you'd expect, up towards the finish and crossing the line now to record a 33.42.
Jonathan Langme just left the line in the Lotus Elise 135R. We see that car quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, he's through into the kink, heavy braking, getting all sorted out and then turning under acceleration.
Very nice, big dab of power between the S's, good late turn into top S, got on the power really early. This is a neat and tidy run for Jonathan towards the finish.
Yeah, Steve Atkins just left the line in a brutish BMW M3. They do seem to go extremely well, nice example. Looks quite standard when you look at them, don't they?
It does. It looks very Tesco's car park, as it were, but going very quickly indeed into bottom S's under heavy brakes. Dabbing.
One of the best engines ever fitted to a road car, in my opinion. This lovely 4-litre V8 that howls away in the back. Very neat and tidy through the S's up towards the finish.
Tony Adams left the line in the Lotus Elise.
Tony's been campaigning this car for quite some time. Goes very well in it indeed.
35.21 for Steve in the BMW.
Here's Tony now. This is a lovely little car, this. Nice and neat and tidy through bottom S. Gets it right over to the left-hand side. Throws it through the top S. Gets on the power early. Popping and banging as he feeds it the gears. Up towards the finish. Now.
Duncan Andrews just left the line in a Cayman GT4. That one there, that's 3.8. It's got 385 brake horsepower.
Sounds very angry.
Yes, and he'll be followed by 27 Simon Tarley in his 997.
Meanwhile, Duncan Andrews out of the top S. No dramas at all off towards the finish. Across the line now to record a 33.42.
Simon Tarling through me, very neat and tidy, very smooth.
Simon Tarling, to my view, this is a 996, 911. He's competed in this for quite some time, very quickly in it. Very nicely through the S. He's using all the road on exit, right up towards the bank, towards the finish.
Here comes that very rapid Vauxhall VX220 of David Meek, already with you.
Yeah, the the big brother version of the Lotus Elise. Rarer, prettier in some way.
Yes, a lot of people said it was the better car, but they had to say it quite quietly.
Yes, it was whispered, wasn't it?
Yes, here it is into my view now. Nice and neat and tidy through the bottom S, nicely through top S, uses all the road through top S, had to get out of the power a little bit as he came out top S, but no problems up towards the finish.
Okay, I've got another very rapid Porsche of Richard Snow, the Cayman GT4. This is another example, 3.8 litre, and it's got 410 brake horsepower. So we're in a batch of Porsches at the moment. Very rapid cars. Sound absolutely amazing. This is the white one with the red stripe. Martini colours. Over to you.
That comes through kennel. Clean as a whistle. Nice Martini stripe, as you say. Keeps it very well sorted. The aggressive for a road car line out of the kink, but
Oh, very nice through bottom S, nibbled the curb at bottom S, and sort of the car twitched over to the left, but nice and neat and tidy through top S. The howl of the Porsche flat six as it screams towards the finish and across the line.
Yeah, so we've got Robert Lancaster Gay next in his Cayman 718 GT4, a 4 litre example. It's got about 400 horsepower. He comes from Berkshire, regular competitor, always quick in the class, leads the line. Robert Lancaster Gay, over to you.
he's from Hertfordshire, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Berkhamsted is in Hertfordshire. I went to school there.
Brilliant, well, that's good to know.
Robert, a former record holder in this class, lost his record last year, as you can see in the August meeting. Cayman is, I think it's his third season in the Cayman.
I think so, yeah. He had a GT3 RS 4
GT3
litre
before,
before, which was one of the only cars worth more at the top of the hill than when he set off from the line, which was brilliant. No wonder he looked so happy. Anyway, he's through top S's and he's crossed the line.
And here comes Robbie Birrell. Now, he often wins the class, extremely rapid driver, did really well in the Isle of Man hill climb recently.
It sounds a different beast, really, Cayman GTS to the GT4.
Yeah, 4 cylinder.
Yeah.
2.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo. Already past me, sort of. It doesn't quite have that Porsche noise. It's a flat 4.
It's living quick,
sick,
though, isn't
but it's
it?
very quick.
Through the line, 32.47 takes him into the lead in that class. In fact, will win that class, I suspect. But nevertheless, we've just got Neil Lacey has just left the line in his very impressive Subaru Impreza. The Lacey's are here. I think his lads here was driving that Cooper R thing earlier.
Through me and up into the S's.
Unfortunately, he's come to a stop. That's a shame. At bottom S, he braked too late. He locked it up. He was on the dirty right-hand side of the track, and he's gone straight into the recticell. The recticell did a fantastic job because it absorbs so much energy. So the car bounced back out of the recticell and is sort of now in the middle of the track. But it did its job. But there'll be a bit of a stoppage because that will be needing to be put together. They're just checking on the driver. He's already out, so he's perfectly all right. He will be a bit cross at himself, but he's perfectly all right, which is good to see.
Yeah, he's here with his dad as well. He's here with his son.
He puts his hands up and give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, he's all right. The car, hopefully, no lasting major damage. They're just wheeling a couple of cars.
He's just bowing.
He's bowing,
just giving a bow. It's a good
Neil,
feeling.
he's a good lad, Neil, actually. He's a good lad. Yeah, well done, Neil. And we're sorry to see that happen to you, but hopefully you can be back out.
The good news is... Sorry, were you going to say, Guy?
Have we seen Rodney Isles?
I didn't know, unless...
No, you haven't. He is here. He is here.
He is the class record holder in this class.
Yes, and I can't see him down near the line, I don't think, but he is here.
I have seen him, have seen the car, but...
Because I had a chat with Rodney earlier. You know what happened at Gersten, don't you? Did you hear that?
Go on.
Well, he was basically waiting on the line. He left the line. Somebody was filming on their mobile phone. He didn't realise that Rodney's missus was stood right next to him filming it. And he was going on about very uncomplimentary terms about, I won't even say it over the air, Alfa's been not very good. And it went all over Facebook, actually, because people were up in arms, because that is a beautiful looking car, Rodney's car, isn't it? And it's very, very quick. And he didn't realise, obviously, this fella, you know, that Rodney's missus was stood next to him recording it all.
Whack, whack, oops.
Yes.
Yeah. So but it did create a bit of mirth. Anyway, it is. Oh, HillClimbing.TV are telling me it is Tom Weaver in the Saxo. Rich had a small off earlier, and they have now switched to the Saxo. So that's a bit of bad luck, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't see an off.
Empire has gone home broken. Dad and I in the Saxo, and Lizzie doing A-level revision. Well, good luck with the A-levels, Lizzie.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So a little update from the incident. Again, Rexel did a brilliant job, because the car, if it hadn't been there, it would have been a front end gone job, because he hit the Rexel at quite some speed, but he managed to miss the sleepers on the right hand side, which is good. They've just attached a tow rope to the front of the Scooby. So it
hasn't started back up then?
No. I can't see the damage on the right-hand side.
Any water evident?
Can't see any, but they're going to tow it.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any scrubbing or brushing, so I don't think there's any fluids coming out.
And then they're going to tow it, and it might. There is a bit of fluid, yes. There's a little white patch, which they've put down.
Yeah.
It's offline, though, because he was so far right, because he missed his braking area. So it's offline, which is good, but they're pulling the Scooby into the sort of refuge area at bottom S, so it might stay there for the rest of the day.
I have a visitor. Young Chris.
Is he visiting, or is he come to stay?
What's that, Chris?
Well, there we go.
I'm going to sign off. Young Chris is going to come back and have another go.
Excellent. So thanks, Chris, and welcome, Chris. Yes, if you see a commentator around today, chances are they're called Chris.
Yeah. Especially down the bottom of the hill.
Yes. But I can see, luckily, Neil is perfectly all right. He's just inspecting the front of his car and giving the marshals a hand, just pushing it up into the refuge area. So the recticel is already back in place, so we shouldn't be too long to wait. There is just a bit of sweeping on the patch of liquid. It might be cool. I don't know what's front right of a Subaru. I don't know if it'd be oil. It might be water from a radiator, maybe. But anyway, there's some sweeping going on. And Lloyd's just walked in. How did it look at the front?
Less damage, more damage than it was before it went up the hill.
More damage than it was before it went up the hill. That's the kind of expert insight you can get here at Shelsley Walsh.
Get the hammers out, it'll be fine.
Yep. Apparently you should have turned left as well. That's
nothing that gaffer tape won't fix, and a bit of T-cut.
Oh, also we've just had unfortunately one of the marshals has just had a broom failure.
Oh no.
Yeah, so a broom outbraked itself at bottom S.
Is that going to be meeting abandoned?
Yes, it's come off again.
Oh no.
That broom is not working. It's a front suspension failure on the broom. But yes, so a bit of sweeping going on, and flags I'm sure will be in momentarily. But it might need a new broom.
You should have used the Mark II pill beam broom.
What was that?
Well, its front end doesn't fall off. That's
right. But
now, looking at the broom across from me here at Crossing, it's got metal reinforcements.
So I think that was the Mark II.
Yeah, that's the mod from a season of experience.
Yeah. If people are just joining the stream now, it's going to take some explaining, but welcome. Yes, so we're all marshals in at bottom S. Also, it's getting a bit grey.
It's a bit chilly as well, to be fair.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Guys.
There's a very booming Druid suddenly back with us.
I don't know why I've suddenly gone loud. I think it's the effect of a good lunch.
It's to match your trousers.
Are you just sitting closer to the microphone?
No.
Well, fair enough.
Someone's turned a knob, and I think it's Mr. Ponsford's been knob turning.
Yeah, he's got such a quiet voice, Chris Ponsford.
He has. He's understated.
I tell him he doesn't need a microphone. He could just open.
Was he using one?
Just open the window. And there's enough of this young Mr. Druid, it's like young Mr. Grace.
You've all done very well.
Well, Chris, I know that there was a meeting you couldn't make at the end of last year, so I could just take this opportunity to say what a pleasure it is to be commentating with you again. It's great to have you back here.
Well, you must try and get back on the team at Goodwood.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
I thought you'd be very welcome because I'm going to stop soon.
Oh, brilliant.
Car number 30. I promise. Car number 34, I believe, is a Yaris, the special Yaris.
The GR Yaris.
Do you see they put the price up by 12 grand?
Didn't put anyone off though, did it?
No, I'm not surprised. Do you know they built this as a rally homologation car? What I love about this car, the reason they built this is they wanted a more efficient hatchback shape for the World Rally Championship, which I just think is brilliant, and they've sold like hotcakes. Anyway, already past me. This is James Stocks in his car. He's already passed me up towards the finish, across the line now.
And he records a 37.9, 82 over the line. Mate of mine had one of these, one of the first to be sold, and within weeks people were offering twice as much as he paid for it.
I hope he took it.
He didn't. He liked the car too much.
An awful lot of supercar owners have these in their garages as well.
It's their daily, exactly that. Anyway, already past me is the second one. This is Alan Mansfield in the red version, carried loads of speed into bottom S, nice and neat and tidy, and across the line to record a 38.06. So they're a 10.5 split, those two.
And off the line goes Robert Brody.
Fisher Fury.
Fisher Fury made all sorts of kits, didn't they?
Yep.
Front engine, back engine, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive.
This has got a bike engine, presumably 893. I can't think of a car.
No, I think that's...
Yeah, definitely. Little bike engine, bit of a squirrely moment as it came through the S's. Big wiggle of oversteer as it came through top S as well, but caught nicely up towards the finish. Robert Brody heading towards the line now, crosses the line.
I'm going offline for 3.5 minutes because Kevin has very kindly provided an ice cream, and it's melting fast.
How very nice for you. Richard Young through Kennel into the crossing, keeping it nice and straight and tidy. Another one of these. How did you describe them?
Locator fields. Lotus, Caterham and Westfield, which I loved. I can't remember who told me that once, but I thought it was a great way of describing them. Nice and neat and tidy. Users nice and neat and tidy through top S as well. Just nibbled the bank on the inside, but perfect line. Up through top S and across the line now to record a 37.34.
Yeah, another more modern, or certainly bigger engined Caterham 7, Malcolm Hickey. It's going very smoothly.
Yes, very pretty car this. Nice and neat and tidy through bottom S. Gets it right over to the right before turning, the left, sorry, before turning through top S. Very neat and tidy through the S's. Got on the power early. Feeds it the gears, up the finishing straight and across the line to record a 34.16. John Pick should be appearing into your view in a minute.
Should, but there he is. Yep.
Interesting car this. You don't see many of these. Flat four Subaru engine in it. I think Subaru running gear, but sort of sports car body.
Yes, I mean, they did produce their own sports car thing, did Subaru, but it wasn't that popular or successful. But this is an interesting piece of kit, as you say. 2-litre turbo.
Goes very well in
wow.
it.
Yes.
Nice and neat and tidy through the S's and across the line to do a 32.96.
If you bought this from Motaya, you got basically a monocoque body chassis, which took Subaru suspension, engine, gearbox, just everything.
Wow.
So you found a wrecked Subaru, of which there were one or two.
Yes.
There were plenty for a while.
In a Welsh scrapyard, probably.
Yes. Is John Pick related to Harry?
Yes, it's his dad.
Oh, right.
Meanwhile, we've got Rob Lloyd on the hill and another Caterham already across the line, 35.49.
The Westfield SEIW. CU.
Yeah.
It's the Scottish version. And following on, John Neary, also in an SEI Westfield, 2-litre version of this confection, 35.49 for Rob Lloyd.
Yeah, good time for Rob. Meanwhile, Jerry's into my view now, taking it nice and steady through the S's, gets it right over to the left-hand side before turning through top S, takes it nice and tidy through top S as well, accelerating up towards the finish, feeds the gears across the line now for a 37.55. Who's with you?
There's one Westfield in the paddock, which is called a Westfield FW, and we were trying to think what FW stands for, and it got ruder and ruder, so we had to stop that game.
Steve Garner is on the hill in his SEI with a 2068cc engine. So, to be overly honest,
It's a quick car, that.
Yeah.
I think it's a Vauxhall unit, and it's got traction control because it's popping and banging as it headed up the finishing straight. Records a 32.98, 104 across the line.
Passing me now is Richard Price in his pure Caterham 7, 1600cc.
Into my view now, turns it nicely into bottom S, gets it right over to the left, turns it into top S, navel of the bank on it. Oh, big squirrely moment as he comes out top S, but he's gathered it up nicely up towards the finish to record a 32.46.
That's our class.
One more, I think.
Leader at the moment. And
Yes.
The Raymond Lure car, Caterham Super Sprint from Long Crendon. He hails with the Vauxhall engine again.
Nice car this, and Ray goes very quickly indeed, uses the curb on the inside of bottom S, turns it nicely through top S, gives the bank the respect it deserves on the exit of top S, accelerates up the finishing straight, crossing the line now into the 32s, 32.94.
That's our batch.
They come thick and fast, don't they?
And that's just the drivers.
Yes, exactly. Very good indeed, and some quick times coming in there. It's getting greyer and greyer up here, I must say. I hope it stays dry. Also, a question which actually Mr. Ponsford might be able to answer, which is one of the radicals we just saw, Mike West. Didn't they used to have a... what did we just see go up? That was didn't they used to have a Fisher Fury? Didn't Mike West used to have a Fisher Fury? Are you guys thinking about the pub answer, or are you seeing if... do you remember the green Fisher Fury from last year? Do you might remember that guy? Do you remember that?
I do remember a Fisher Fury from last year. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I was distracted by another knock on the door. No, which isn't ice cream, but it's the classic Marques.
Oh, right.
They're running on handicap. So I have the top 4 after handicap. And the bad news, chaps, is Arnie Fleck, who we've all been raving about in the Audi RS3, is not part of that championship. It's a program error.
Oh.
So we're going to have to rethink totally and ignore the screens, because it's putting him far and away in the lead of the championship, which obviously he will be, but he's not part of it at all. So when we get to their runs, I will let you know what the top 4 cars on handicap are. It's interesting reading.
So, Guy, for those who may be here for the first time, would you explain what handicap is for in this case?
Well, in this case, it's concocted by the championship coordinator, who is also running, and the idea is that you can have cars of massively differing performance envelopes running on a level playing field. So you decide secretly what their handicap is, because it hasn't been published. So you say, oh, Mr. Jones in his 500 brake horsepower whatever, in his TVR sake, for sake of argument, I want to see him climbing in 32 seconds. That's his handicap, it's his set time. But if Mr. Johnson in his Mazda MX-5 1600, if he can climb in faster than 37 seconds, he's going to win, because he's beaten his handicap, i.e. his target time, by more. That's a very, very back of an envelope explanation of handicap.
Well, I didn't give you any warning. It's very good.
And at Prescott...
don't get into VSEC handicaps.
No,
please.
No, no, I wouldn't dare. But Bugatti Owners Club handicaps are based on your PB, your personal best. So if you beat your handicap, it's good news and bad news. Good news is that you won the class or whatever. Bad news is that your handicap goes up.
So you're saying that the first time you enter a VSCC event, you should crawl up glacially, so that the second time you absolutely trounce your time.
That is commonly known as sandbagging, sir.
Yes, it is.
No, what you do is you craftily pass a brown envelope to the chief handicapper.
Mark will drop me out the brownies for that.
If he's watching the stream, a caps lock comment will be forthcoming.
Yes, quite.
So just so you know, cars have gone back past, but Clerk of the Course has come to have a look at bottom S.
Checking out the rector damages.
Yeah, so
it's up to spec still.
It's actually they've moved it back out of the way. They seem to be actually looking at the tyres that are behind the rector cell, as well as just the rector cell. They're heavy lumps, those rector cell bags.
They
moved 4 of them.
They do a good job. Now,
massively.
rector cells were introduced here by somebody who used to compete in very exotic Italian cars. And I've just for the moment, i.e. for a month or two, I've forgotten his name.
Well, it was a very good idea. It's been
It was.
there's been a lot of incidents at Bottom S that weren't incidents because of the recticel, if you know what I mean.
In my day, which was a long time ago, we used to come down the hill. We didn't have to wear a crash helmet coming down the hill.
No.
Which was much more fun.
Do you know, I remember that. Dad used to wave at me, sat in the...
Yeah.
Whoever's playing the Hovis advert in the background, but my dad used to wave at me.
He's from Huddersfield. So
Yeah.
Up and so.
In fact, there's actually... there was a... Duke used to do videos of the championship.
They did, yes.
And then I think it was 93 or 94, one of the years. On one of them, as Dad goes through Bottom S, going back down the hill, his crash helmet fell off his side pod and rolled down the car behind it.
I remember that, yes. Oops. On a slightly more serious note, just for a second, those of us of a certain age will be sad to learn that Neville Hay died last week. And Neville Hay was a great commentator, great author, started Hay Fisher Production and produced some amazing videos, and he was great fun to commentate with.
I did see that, and I was very sad to learn that. I was lucky enough to commentate alongside him and you at Chateau Impney a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's right. Now, Goodwood, if our bacon butties turned up and we wanted 10 minutes of not having to say anything, all we did was say to Neville, how did Vera get on with Roy Salvadori? and off he went for 20 minutes, and that was great.
Go for 3-course lunch and pop back.
That's right.
Right, gents. Another knock on the window, and I have the ultimate answer to how the handicap in the Classic Marques Championship works, if you'd like to hear it.
What colour's the envelope?
This is based on the weight of car and driver.
Oh, right.
And the power as recorded at an approved rolling road and the tyres used.
Huh.
The driver should therefore be driving an equal standing basis. There is a formula, all the criteria entered at the beginning of the season. It sounds like the Pomeroy Trophy formula to me, all black magic and smoke and mirrors. There are no target times.
Oh.
So your handicap, I mean, you must be given a handicap time based on all those variables. Someone with a better grasp of how a slide rule works probably sorts this out, or a really good algorithm on their mobile phone. But that's how it works. So if you're in a really quick car and you're the weight of a racing snake, I suspect you're going to have a huge handicap. Right. If you're built like me in a slow car, you'll probably have a quite achievable handicap if you're brave.
Interesting. If you're watching this on live stream,
I'm wondering what on earth we're talking about.
Yes, first of all, you see the truck going up, I guess, to collect the impreza. But what impresses me is the number of cameras and the positioning of the cameras, which is, A, we've got more, and B, it's
brilliant, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
My favourite one is the one that's on the exit at sort of ground level of crossing. That one's a brilliant angle.
And we've never seen into the top paddock before.
No, I don't think we have. That's a good improvement. Just as an update, there is much looking at this barrier, so it may be that the barrier received a little more damage than was thought by the impact from the Subaru. So Clarks, of course, are all up here with a number of marshals, and they've peeled back the recticel and are looking at the recticel and also the tyres behind it.
I love the messages we're getting from all around the world. Lightning Rod says, hello from Thunder Bay, Canada. Wow. Hello, Lightning Rod. I hope you're not being...
It's a bit of luck he was named Lightning Rod and ended up living in Thunder Bay. That was lucky, wasn't it?
Neil Coles.
Did a thought strike him, do you think?
Yes.
Hello from Plymouth. Well, that's far enough away.
Yeah.
Fantastic live stream and great commentary. Oh, well.
He's watching a different show.
Yeah. He's got 5 live on, I think.
I wish I could be there with you all, but Jenny Harvey, absolutely love that the on-site over PA commentators engage so directly with YouTube comments. Makes watching from home so immersive. Means you're in the bath.
It does, yes.
Well, Jenny, if you can get to a hill climb, do, because there's nothing better than seeing it in the flesh. But the next best thing is seeing it on the stream, isn't it?
But we get lovely messages. Hello from Lancaster from Paul Moon. Thanks for the coverage.
It's our pleasure.
You mean thanks for the coverage?
The G-Loverage.
G-Loverage.
Very good.
Thomas Parker, can you say hi to my fellow marshals from Tom Parker? Marshals?
Tom Parker says hi.
They're waving back.
That's good.
Some of them.
Some of them know Tom Parker. Others are thinking about Elvis. Is he a colonel? What's going on?
No, this is a test for you.
What, Colonel Tom Parker?
The sign on the screen.
What's it? We don't have it.
We don't have
Don't
the
you?
screen.
Hello from Vlodava in Poland. From Maciek Naglak. Maciek, it's a good name, and lives in Vlodava in Poland.
Beautifully done.
And the Poles are being sensible about making sure that Mr. Putin doesn't get tempted. G'day from Brisbane. Loving the action. Well, we've got an Aussie competing in his single-seater VW Beetle, which is based on a Formula 2 car, I think. And he nearly wrote it off at Gersten down last weekend, but he spent the week fixing it and almost had another excitement with it this morning, trying to slow down after the finishing. But great to see Shane here today.
I think we ought to be putting the strong rumour about this actually based on a McLaren F1, given its central seating drive.
Yeah, we should.
Yes.
Sir James, salutations from Washington, D.C. Great stream for a laid-back, lazy Saturday morning. All very well for you.
Yes.
Well, why aren't you up in Detroit watching the Grand Prix? That's what I want to know.
Oh, it's the IndyCar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it
The streets of Detroit.
Back to the
Indianapolis was
really?
last weekend.
And here he is on screen. It's a really interesting car. It's not much Beetle. Well,
Well, it looks like.
I think the body is.
the body is fairly
is.
Beetle-y.
Yes.
Now, what happened at Gersten, interesting, he took off over the bump after Deers Lee.
Yeah.
So he had no steering, and he was aiming for the left-hander, and he left-handed. Well, he didn't left-hand. He went straight on into a tree.
You need a bit of right rudder.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we know, has anyone spoken to him since this morning? Because he had he outbraked himself for the return road in the paddock at the top and ended up in the gravel. Is everything all right?
We've just had him on the screen, just avoiding the kitty. Yeah, it's fine as far as I know.
Oh, good.
A little bit of gravel rash across the nose, but nothing worse.
No.
Okay.
But he must have worked very hard over the week, because the car was apparently a bit of a bodywork mess.
Yes, he went down. He was in Chris was telling us, I can't remember which garage he went to nearby. Another competitor kindly lent him his ramp and his garage to get it fixed over the week.
Isn't that good? We got a message from Ollie Platt. Good afternoon, Chris. Well, I'm not sure which Chris you're saying good afternoon. If it's me, hello, Ollie.
If it isn't,
Hello, Ollie.
cheers.
Just a bit of an update from Bottom S. The Subaru is being winched onto the truck. So, guys, it comes back past you. You'll be able to see the damage on the right front corner.
I hope he doesn't have to drive home.
Well, it is on number plates, so let's hope not. Otherwise, if you're a taxi driver and you happen to be watching today, I know of a fare that you could earn, but
No, you get the truck to drop you about 400 yards away, and then ring the AA.
yeah,
And the police.
yeah, take the numbers.
And your insurance company.
Take the numbers off
Yeah.
and the timing
Put the
strut.
interior back in.
Yeah.
Steve Jones contemplating buying a car. Yes. And having a go.
Oh, good man.
Caterham, Radical, or Classic Mini ? Well, of those three,
Locator field.
I'd go Radical.
as a first
As a first
car.
hill climb car.
Well, maybe it's a first hill climb car, no, but is he
bit adventurous. I would say start with the Classic Mini and just get the hang of it.
true?
You can probably bolt everything on and
On
off
it.
yourself with that.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
Yeah, no, the one thing I just noticed about, we've got more Radicals competing more and more this year. So we've got 3 or 4 of them here this year. They're actually, I think, really rejuvenating the sports car class after years of slightly fewer entries than we used to have, and it's great to see.
Hello from sunny Aberdeen. I'm watching to follow my brother Gary Warren, who's competing this weekend in his Empire.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, that's great. That's from Lisa W5, or Lisa 5.
Shall I see if I can find a time for how he
For
did
Gary?
this morning?
Yes.
Please hold the line.
A recap on that. Right, the the Subaru is coming back down now. It's gone on backwards, which means I will get a very good view of a very, very crumpled front right. Don't think it's done any suspension damage. There's certainly wing and tyre and wheel contact.
Doesn't look too bad.
But it's, that's going to need jacking up, bonnet opening and judicial application of the Irish screwdriver once the wheel is off.
Gary, by the way, Gary Warren did a 29.45 on his first
That's a good time.
That's not slouching, is it?
Ollie, this is Ollie Goodall. Hello lads, can't wait to be taking photos here tomorrow. Well,
Excellent.
that's good news.
We just asked why you're not taking photos here today, Ollie.
Well, when you get here tomorrow, come and say hello.
Yeah, and put the photos on Facebook or something like that.
Yes, I should say, we need to remind everybody, it's at Shelsley Walsh for any social media posts and hashtag Shelsley Walsh. If you hashtag Shelsley Walsh, we can all share in your
Message
photos.
from Erich Lausch. Germany is on board. Deutschland ist aboard. Guten Tag, Erich. Wie geht es dir?
Ja.
Jawohl. Sehr gut.
I lived in Germany.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, for 3 happy years.
Vorsprung durch Druid.
Jawohl.
Yes.
Who is driving the Marcos? We have
The Marcos driver.
Stuart. This is from Stuart Apps. Who's driving the Marcos? And has it got a wooden chassis? He will ask probably.
It hasn't got a wooden chassis.
It's Brian Marshall. Because it's the same shape of that one that was a 4-cylinder one. I think it was 1800. That one did. Because
The 1800 GT did indeed.
Yes.
Early
With a
ones.
Volvo engine.
But then the customers didn't realise how good wood can be and didn't like the idea. So,
All wood is good wood.
yeah. Steve Jones, thanks to all the marshals. Yeah, they're an athletic gang. None of this happens without their support. Absolutely.
Correct.
well said.
That's very well said. I think you said earlier, encouraging people to, particularly younger people, to have a go. And it's how you get close to the action, and it's great fun. Great gang of people too. That's an interesting camera shot as cars come out from the paddock and up to the line, as is car number 776. So we're back in action, which is good news. It means the Recticel is okay.
Yeah, hard work from the marshals here at Bottom S to fix the barrier, which is great.
776 is Ben Hamer, OMS 28, which means which class?
We're in
Probably
class
1100.
I, the racing cars up to 1100, yes.
Fine.
Which is page 25 of our programmes. We won't be seeing Richard Weaver again, I don't think. As I was saying earlier, his rear suspension seemed to collapse at the kink and there were sparks flying everywhere and he came to a halt with no drive.
Is that Ben Hamer?
This is Ben Hamer off the line, through Kennel, into crossing. Very 50p piece lines he's taking. There's no attempt to dive into the apex. It's all jerky.
Into my view now, this is the only turbocharged car. Oh, he's so wide on the exit at top as he just kept it out the bank. He had to get right out the power. He just touched some dust, but he got away with it. He's across the line, 29.12.
Do he and Will share this, or...?
Yes, I think they do. This is the only turbocharged car in the class.
Yeah, as in ownership, I meant.
Oh, I don't know. Good
I
question.
know they share the driving, but...
Off the line comes Tim Thompson, 781,
Another of the Yorkshire contingent, 998.
and brother of the other Thompson.
Yes, championship winner in its day, but great to see. Oh, big wiggle for Tim Thompson. He came through bottom S, but he caught it, so no harm, no foul. Much better through top S. Power down towards the finish, crossing the line now.
I'd love to say with 998 it was a Mini Cooper engine, but I bet it isn't.
No.
29.75 for Tim. Steve Morgan, Empire Evo 3. Isn't it a lovely shape, that Empire?
It's a quick car, this,
Yeah.
and it's already through bottom S, back over to the right-hand side before he turns through top S. He turns it in nicely, very pointy, this car. Out of top S nicely, up towards the finish, feeds it the gears across the line.
He'll be pleased. He's in the 20s, 29.63, 107 over the line. And for a slight change of scenery, Richard Weaver is driving a Citroen.
Ah, so Richard is here, he's just in the Saxo.
He's in the Saxo, yeah.
Not in the Empire Evo 2, but keeping the number thereof.
Did Did he have one go in the Evas this morning? And just
he did. That's
sparked his way up the hill.
Yeah, he got to crossing and the back end collapsed onto the ground. Loads of sparks and then no forward power at all.
Talking of which, there's work busy on Nicola's car and they're making good progress.
Oh, that's good.
The question is, of course, does Richard stay in this class?
No.
Or has he been moved to wherever a Saxo fits?
Here's one of my favourite cars. I was a bit gutted when you said they all melted away. The Alfa 4C, they're such lovely cars.
They're beautiful cars and they're wonderful to drive. I had the great pleasure about 6 years ago of being chucked the keys of one when I was in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And given the chance to drive all over the place.
20 miles an hour around the streets.
Yes. Well, it's into my view now. This is a quick car. A little bit of a wiggle for Rodney. Had to get out the power. That will cost him all the way up the finishing straight, but he's got away with it. He's up the finishing straight now. He's across the line.
And Rodney was sprint champion on more than one occasion.
All right.
He records a 34.22 against his class record of 31.93.
Chris Bentley-Jones on his way, car number 45. So we're going back a page or two in the programme.
Cooper S with the 1380 Acelli set size of engine. Very popular, these classic Mini Cooper S.
Yeah, lovely little car.
And Eric Murray in his frighteningly fast little imp. Very different from the imps of my day.
Yes, this
We used to put a cement bag in the front.
it does corner like a Scalextric car. This
It's amazing.
It's very quick though, and it's already into my sight very nicely through bottom S. Big stab of power through the S's. Nice and neat tidy through top S. He's up towards the finish. Chris Bentley-Jones in the Mini did a 48.04. Eric Murray crosses the line now, 33.24. That's quick.
And here's a car I think we've seen once or twice before. Andy Russell in the Ginetta.
Lovely, isn't it, this Ginetta?
Did you know that Mike Parks, who was a works driver of Ferrari, son of the chairman of Alvis, was very involved in the design of the imp?
I did.
Yes, I knew that. I did know that, yes.
Well, you know everything.
No, I don't, but I did know that Mr. Parks was involved with the Roots group.
Andrew Russell's already passed me, as you'd expect. Very neat, tidy through the S's towards the finish. Crosses the line in 35.98.
Yeah, that's good. Tony Feekins on his way, car number 50.
205 GTI.
Which is, I wonder how many times it's been through a hedge backwards.
Well, it's not. It's facing the right direction now. Sounds great. This car carries loads of speed through the S's. He's off towards the finish.
And I've been deafened by the lovely noise of a Rover V8 in a TVR. That's Steve Mogg, 5 litres TVR V8.
Yeah, talking of sounding great, absolutely. 35.83 for Tony Feekins.
Here's the TVR into bottom S. It leans over as it turns into bottom S. Slap in the middle of the road as he turns into top S. Uses all the road on exit. Little bit smoky as he accelerates way up the finish, but he's crossing the line now.
33.08.
That's good. I swapped a March 802 for a Griffith, 4 litre Griffith, which I enjoyed for a year or so.
Very nice. Well done. That March is lovely though as well.
Well, that was the 802. The 782 was the pretty one.
Oh, right. Meanwhile, past me is the Porsche 911 of Andrew Norris. That's the supercharged car, I believe. Very nice.
Are you sure it's not Jonathan Williams who's passing?
He's
I've
ahead
got
of
Andrew Novice in front of me
Sorry.
now.
Yeah, Jonathan has finished with a 34.18, speed 95. Interesting similarities in times between him and Andrew Norris. So what does Andrew do?
Well, he's nicely past me. He's just coming out the top S, very neat and tidy, feeds the power in, the car rockets up the finishing straight, and it's about to cross the line, which it does so now.
32.96. Here's Jeff Twemlow up from Cornwall in his well-used Impreza.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Well, they need using. Nothing worse than a car not doing enough work.
With a turbocharged engine, this one.
Yes.
Here it is here. He goes well in this car, nice and neat and tidy through bottom S. Now accelerates me through top S and away towards the finish.
Were they all turbocharged?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Pretzels were, I think, yeah.
Jeff, time coming up very soon. 36.92. Paul Howells, that'll be a Porsche.
It will indeed, 911 RSR.
Into my view now. This is a lovely looking car. I don't think I've seen this in this livery before, but it looks fantastic. He's already up past me, feeding it the power, feeding it the gears. It pops and bangs, and it's over the finish now.
And it's a good time of 32.44. Here's Nigel Elliott in the much rebuilt TR7 V8. Always fast, always a bit wild, but I think it's not 100% happy this weekend.
No,
we'll see.
You take a 1970s British Leyland wedge with a 4.5 litre engine, you then take it up to 4.6, and you then think, what is this lacking? A turbocharger.
Power. Yeah. Anyway, it's already passed me. Gosh, it comes on song. You can hear it, the turbo coming on song, and it leaves black marks up the road, and it's across the line.
Here's Damien Bradley, 700 or 800 horsepower. Look out, it's incredibly quick. What's the record in this class?
28.18 by Stephen Darley.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if Damien gets quicker than that.
They've done a lot of work with this car over the winter. It's looking absolutely brilliant. Lovely through bottom S, lovely through top S. Bit of a wiggle as he comes out of top S as he applies the power. And he's off towards the finish now, crosses the line.
Not quite, 29.77, but he's back again tomorrow, I guess.
Yep.
Do you know whose IP Subaru bought in the early 1960s?
Go on.
Jowett.
No, is that right?
Flat fours, Jowett.
Wow. Do you know why Jowett had to give up making cars?
Because they were... no, do come on.
Because their bodybuilder was bought by Ford and they refused to build Jowett bodies anymore, so sad for Bradford.
That's why they tried with the fiberglass, the R4, to see if they could go it
that's
alone
right.
with shipbuilding and aircraft technology, but couldn't.
Yeah.
They did it
Meanwhile,
gentlemanly.
Phil Goff has crossed the line, by the way, 32.78 in the green Westfield.
Steve Mundy, car number 60, on his own in Sports Libre saloon cars in a Ford Fiesta.
4x4.
4x4 with a V8 Chevrolet probably.
That's got very, very, very little to do with Dagenham, really, that car, hasn't it?
Yes, it's very quick. It's an ex-rallycross car, I think. Already through bottom S, big squirt of power between the S's. Past me through top S, and it comes on song and pops and bangs its way up the finishing straight and across the line now. 33.71.
Do you know what my first job ever was?
Go on.
I worked for Colonel Ronnie Hoare in his Ford dealership in Bournemouth, and it involved getting the train to Dagenham, from Bournemouth to Dagenham every morning, and driving a brand new Ford back down to Bournemouth.
Wow. Some people.
Okay.
And it was usually an Anglia or a Prefect, but sometimes it was a Zodiac, and even more sometimes it was a lorry chassis, which was great fun because it used to spin the wheels in all four gears.
Mike West just crossed the line in the SR1 Radical, 33.17.
Here's Stephen King, who writes a mean short story.
I thought you were going to say about your first job, Chris, and then one sunny day it was a GT40.
Oh, that would have been good.
Meanwhile, Stephen King's passed me, the slightly earlier Radical Pro Sport, slightly earlier than the SR1. Quick little car, 33.80.
Andrew Burt, Mallock. This is a rare Mallock, one of, I think, only 7 rear-engined, all aerodynamic Mallocks.
Yes,
And I think there aren't many left.
and they got it right. You can see the airflow across the surface. It's a really good piece of kit.
So I don't know why they didn't sell hundreds of them.
Don't know, that's a good question. I don't know what championship they were eligible for, because they wouldn't have been Clubman's cars.
No,
At
they
the end
weren't.
of the
Too
long
close
race.
for Clubman,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he goes very nicely past me. He's across the line, 32.23. Matthew Price is next, I believe.
Yeah, in a Radical.
The SR3, all in white with black highlights. Very nice.
How many race series do you think worldwide Radical are in?
Oh, it's an
just
unbelievable amount.
innumerable.
Oh, bit of a wiggle, sorry, to as he came through bottom S, but he picked it up. Bit of a wiggle as he came through top S2. He was still catching that halfway towards the finish, but he's caught it. He's up towards the finish, he crosses the line.
For 29.81, and he's followed by a similar car in the hands of David Bickley, but it's an SR1.
Yep, the earlier. Bit chunkier, the SR1, but Sports 2000-esque.
Yes, into my view now, you'll see this is a Bickley car because of the highlight, sort of green highlights on it. Nice and neat and tidy through bottom and top S for David Bickley. Gets the power down nicely, up towards the finish and across the line.
And his time 32.34, speed 95. Here's Robin Nicholson in this this Mallet that's been owned by all sorts of people, had a terrifically successful hill climbing career.
Still phenomenally fast.
Yes, it really is.
It's very, very 70s looking in its paint scheme. I like it for that.
It's brilliant, and it's nicely into bottom S, gets it right over to the right-hand side before turning through top, left-hand side before turning through top S, very neatly through the S's, no dramas at all, feeds it the gears, across the line, 31.30.
It was fun that when we used to have a class full of Mallets. Now, we were arguing at lunchtime whether this was a unique Force sports car. I mean, effectively central seat, but effectively two-seater. And it wasn't the owner. The owner of the car next door said, I think it's unique.
It's a bit of a wiggle as he came through the S's. This is supercharged, so massive power, but Alan McDonald is across the line now, 29.87, sub 30-second run. Good run.
That's good.
That should be the batch.
That is the batch,
Certainly
and here's
in
the
the
top
class.
paddock. And this is the first time, or first day, when we've had a camera up at top paddock. It's a great place for gossiping and discussing where you got the line slightly wrong. Oh, it would have been a record if I'd just got that corner a bit better.
And to show gratitude, you made it to the top as well.
Yeah.
Yes, much kissing of the ground happens in top paddock.
Yes.
I think, so the SR1 Radical and the SR3, they're both still made. The SR1 is actually the little brother of the SR3, so it's the smallest car that they make. And they have like a junior Radical championship for them, so sort of introduction to motorsports. But if they still run 1300 bike engines, and I think the SR3 stretch to 1500. But for hill climbing, they have a smaller footprint than the SR3, which for a narrow hill is quite handy.
I did an interview with Fraser Corbin to celebrate 40 years of the Jedi make. They've made lots of cars, and they run a race series which was called Formula Jedi, is now called Formula 1000. And I was suggesting that it was a better leap from just not doing very much to Formula 3, which at the moment is done by go-karters, which is a top kart is a very expensive thing to run. And I was suggesting that if Formula 1000 became a sort of halfway house between little karts and Formula 3, it would be ideal, because it's a lot less expensive. The racing is very competitive. It's an introduction to proper cars on slicks and wings.
Oh yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
And I think, Fraser was quite interested, but of course you've got to get the FIA involved and so on and so forth.
Then that gets expensive.
There's Ginetta Junior, but I don't think any team managers, Formula 3 team managers, really watch Ginetta Junior.
You know, Lando Norris came through Ginetta Junior.
Oh, did he?
He did.
He did. There's a Jamie Chadwick was a Ginetta
Jamie Chadwick was
champion as well, and she will be. Well, she's had her first podium in Indy Next. So
has she?
So she'll be looking this weekend. I interviewed her at Detroit last year, and she came 8th. But this year she's had a podium.
Brilliant.
Didn't Indy 500 get 4 hours of
rain delay? It did. It was worth the wait. I stayed up though.
And how long did they wait for it to dry out before they took to the track again?
It was a 4-hour delay from the original start time, so they stuck the track dryers out.
Oh, right. Because they don't believe in running on wet tracks, do they?
I wouldn't round there, to be fair.
No.
220 miles an hour average laps.
Don't want to
and
watch
a concrete wall.
On the screen, if you're watching on the screen, this is Matt Ryder's fastest run from last year. And Matt is leading our championship this year so far.
He's had a fantastic start to the season.
He really has.
2 wins at Harewood, and I think 2 wins of the 3 at Gersten, with Alex taking the other one.
So presumably this is in the 22s. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? And he was, I think, 3rd quickest this morning in first practice. Obviously, it's very early days, but it's amazing to think, if you were here this morning and you saw the cars, think, wow, that was quick. Well, the quickest time was a 24.28 by Alex Summers. So the record is in the 21s now.
Really?
Isn't it 21? Well, 22s, in the 22s, sorry. 22s.
22.37
22s. So it's 2 seconds more to find than what you saw this morning, and they weren't hanging about this morning.
We've had Matt on the screen now. 22.57 was that run from Matt last year.
Yeah.
So 2/10 outside the record. If we get a nice day tomorrow, dry, not too hot.
It's possible.
It's possible. It could be good conditions for record breaking. Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Even if they can get into the 23s or dip maybe into the 22s, that would be great to see, wouldn't it?
The record for running is 4 minutes and 47 seconds, which I presume is uphill and not downhill.
I wouldn't be that quick going downhill here.
No, the bicycle record is 2 minutes and 36 seconds, again uphill. Those have stood since October 2016.
The oldest record is still owned by Mark Colton, which was the Shelsley Special record, which I thought Will Hall now had when he had the Force, but
I thought the Manic.
no, the Manic is the
Supercharged Shelsley Special.
Oh, right, okay.
right.
That's July 2016.
I'm surprised James Baxter's record hasn't been eclipsed in a decade. And of course the VSCC meeting has moved forward into June from its traditional July date, which is why I can't do it, annoyingly. I assumed it would be in July, but no, it's moved this year to June.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at the Royal Albert Hall with Nick Mason for the last date of the Source Full of Secrets tour on the Saturday, and then I'm speaking at a friend's wedding on the Sunday in Bradford.
Oh, lovely.
Nick was interviewed on YouTube, not about cars, but about flying, and his enthusiasm for flying, both fixed wing and helicopters. On the line, Paul Harris, we're into Formula Fords by the look of it.
Indeed, 788, so that sees us leaping up to Class J1, Formula Ford's up 1600, pre-1974. Paul in the Van Diemen, an RS85.
Good entry of FF's Formula Fords.
Phenomenal.
Yes, into my view now is Paul. Big stab of power between the S's, gets on the power early. Oh, had to get out the power as he came out top S because he was heading towards the bank, but he didn't. So he got out the power in time, and he's headed towards the finish now across the line.
26.79.
I'm reading a book about Captain Cook and his landing on Van Diemen's Land, which of course was Tasmania.
I'm really looking for the link to hill climbing.
Van Diemen.
Van Diemen.
Van Diemen, sorry.
Yeah. It's the car that's driving past your box.
Catch up. Another one. Keep awake.
But what's the link between the Van Diemen and Van Diemen's Land?
Because
I don't know.
who
Was it
was it
Ferdinand?
was it
Was it
Ron?
the Ferdinand family?
Well, it wasn't Ron Toronac, but whoever constructed a very successful make of racing cars was born in Tasmania, so he called the cars Van Diemen's. And his name escapes me, as all names do at the moment.
I've got Paul Jones on the hill going very nicely. This is his first year in this car, showing Darren Gumley going very well indeed, and he does a 28.86. He'll be pleased with that.
That's good. Here's a green one.
It's Andy, I believe.
It is indeed.
Oh, he got it very, very wobbly coming out of kennel, but it really tail-heavy handling. Watch him as he gets up into the S's.
Yes, he's appearing into my view now. He's relatively big. Dab of opposite lock as he came to bottom S, and it's safe through top S. It's not pointing in the right direction, but it is now up towards the finish across the line.
He was very squirrely up the straight.
Yes.
26.79 for Andy. Liam Cooper, we saw Olivia just before lunch. They share this car. It's
Force TA.
yes.
Nicely through.
They call the colour when it's covered in mud. They call it choc chip.
It's past me now, very neat and tidy through the S's. Very neat and tidy through top S as well. On the power rally, this is a good run from Liam. He's going really well in this car now, and he's across the line, 27.37.
115 over the line. David Warburton in the GR59. They are the GR59 is such a clever one-piece tub with only one hole in the top of it for the driver to get in. Everything else goes up from underneath.
I think this is Alan.
Is it Alan? I beg his pardon.
Right family, wrong flavour.
So it's one carbon fibre moulding from front to back, but it's 3 different specifications of carbon fibre.
Very neat and tidy from Alan through the S's. He gave the bank a big wide berth as he came out of top S's across the line, 26.86.
And the front of the tub its job is to protect the driver's feet, so it's compressibility. The middle of the tub is protecting the rest of the driver, and the back is a different specification of carbon fibre to withstand the heat of the engine and gearbox. So you wouldn't think it was made of 3 parts of different specs of carbon fibre. It's so beautifully done.
Jonathan Evans now in the Pilbeam MP88.
Yes, past me now.
He scraped the inside of the first part of crossing with the rear left. A little bit of a shower of muck, but nothing too dramatic.
He's followed by Andrew Colburn in the Van Diemen RFO 2FX.
Nicely through.
Yeah, the Colburns are going really well in this car. They're getting quicker and quicker every year, and he's into my view now. Turns nicely through bottom S, nice and neat and tidy. Turns it into top S. Perfect line through top S. Slap bang in the middle of the road as he accelerates away and across the line now.
31.26. What formula was this car built for? We know RFO 26.
I'd have to
Wasn't
check.
Formula
Renault, maybe.
Yeah, could be. Trisha Davis in the Force TA with Terry's engine, in other words, the little 2-litre V8 that her husband has made quite a few of, and they're beautifully made.
They are, and they're very good. They're very powerful. This car's very quick up the finishing straight. 30.24, 117 across the line.
Excellent. Nicola, hey, look. Nicola in the Gold Delara.
She goes very well in this car. This is this car is an ex.
She's sharing this with Andrew Henson.
Yes, she is. But this car is an ex runoff winning car in the hands of Ben Butterfield 20 or so years ago. Very nice car indeed. She's taking it nice and steady as she goes through the S's. She puts the power down, heads towards the finish.
Oh wow! Here's the Australian Beetle.
This is Wayne
Amazing.
Penrose.
Yeah. This is sensational. Well, what did Nicola do? She did a 36.86.
Wayne into my view now. Great to have him here. A little bit of smoke coming from the exhaust as he goes out of top S. Wow, big wiggle of power as he came out of top S and got the power down. But he's up the finishing straight now and he's across the line. Let's hope he now stops. He's locked up again as he disappears across the top, but he has stopped. This time he didn't end up in the gravel.
No, civilised.
Massive lock-up, though.
I think he's off to Germany tonight. He's competing at a hill climb in Germany, either tomorrow or next weekend.
So he's not doing tomorrow?
I know he's off to Germany, but I'm not sure if it's tonight or tomorrow night. We shall see. Look at this athletic bunch.
What are you looking at on the screen?
I'm looking at the marshals.
Oh, right.
sweeping the start line. If you're young and enthusiastic and wondering what to do at the weekends, well, think of joining the Marshals Club. They're a great bunch of people. I don't know if you get given an orange suit, probably.
It's also a fantastic way to get as close to the action as you can.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant way to help out. We cannot go motor racing without the marshals. The sport would not happen. So we thank all of our marshals. And yes, if you are interested, if you're here on site and you see one of the marshals, ask them how they got involved. They love welcoming new people to the community, and they'd happily talk to you about how to get involved in marshalling. And if you're on the stream, search it in Google once we've finished.
And if you want to be on the stream this afternoon, go to the courtyard, because we've got the big screen. On the screen it says clearing Wayne's gravel, so Wayne's brought some gravel from Australia.
So he might have was that across the finish? Was it?
No.
Well, no, we haven't got a flag up here, so it must be down with you.
It was at the start, cleaning up the start.
Oh, he will have dropped it from this morning.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
We got the Lola Porsche on its way up to the start line. This is Graham Lokes, of course, down from Wolverhampton, not very far. And he's been competing in this car since popping this Porsche engine in the back, 15 years ago.
It's a beautiful car, this.
It is.
Sound and visual, it's a brilliant car.
It really is. 2.3 off the line.
It sounds brilliant. You can hear it bellowing its way up the hill. Past you, Guy?
It's past me into the kink. He lifts just as the Armco changes colour, and with you.
Nice and neat and tidy through bottom S, as you'd expect, and through top S. Uses all the road. Bit of a wiggly, had to get out the power, but he's collected it nicely. Feeds at the gears and away towards the finish.
We should have our legs slapped, Mr. Druitt. Van Diemen was founded by Ross Ambrose and Ralph Furman Sr.
Ralph Furman I was thinking of,
Yes.
Here's Duncan Barnes. You'll have recognised this car from all the Normas at the Masters.
I will indeed. He goes fantastically well in this car. He's
Not here today, he doesn't.
What's happened?
He's coming to a halt. Probably you might see his nose
I can see
as
him.
he stops.
He's still crawling up the hill, maybe stuck in bottom gear or something, but it's gone horribly wrong. Will he stop at the...
No, I think he's going to continue to the top.
Yeah, probably good to get
Probably
up.
best. It's...
Are they?
He's playing with something on the steering wheel.
Oh, really?
I couldn't see. I think it said 2, so I don't know if it's stuck in second. But
Do they have BMW engines?
no, not this one. So there is one in Europe that runs a 4-litre V8. This one runs a 2.1 litre, I think it is, Honda turbocharged engine. I think it's based on the 2-litre Honda engine. So basically, when they do European hill climbs, most of them are V8s, so 3-litre V8s, or some of them are smaller capacity turbo cars. They also do a circuit racing version of the Norma, which is this, which you can run a 2-litre Honda engine or a 1.6 turbo Peugeot, and it's that chassis in effect. I don't know if it's that engine turbocharged or if he's gone down a unique route with it. I think it's a slightly different engine, but similar tub to those you see competing in Europe. More powerful engine, though, which is a great car.
Here's Guy Warren, car number 73 in Empire Evo. He's down from Aberdeen.
Very, very fast through crossing, rushing the Armco within a gnat's whisker.
Into my view now, very enthusiastic through the S's. Big slides, he comes out of top S, but done very nicely indeed. Power down, and he's across the line now.
Good time, 27.86, 103. That's very quick considering his speeds into the speed traps, 104 and 103, are not terribly quick. Richard Matossian, his engine didn't sound very happy as it went past me.
It sounded on 3 cylinders this morning as well.
But
It doesn't sound happy through here either, I'm afraid.
it's a BMW engine of 1 litre. Is that a bike engine?
Yeah, this is the car that holds the record in this class,
Oh.
with a 24.58
Yes.
1100. It's basically a world superbike BMW engine, and it's not happy. It sounds like it's on 3 cylinders.
Yeah, sad.
Just doing a bit of head scratching about the Van Diemen, and we were wondering what it might have come from. Could it be a Formula Palmer Audi?
Could be.
As they were all, for a couple of seasons, Van Diemens.
Yes, it could be. I might go. I'm going to have to do some more of this investigative
You are.
journalism
Before tomorrow.
before tomorrow. It could be. I'll find out.
Here's Will Kerr with only 748 cc's turbocharged of OMS. What engine would that be?
Austin 7?
Yeah, could well be.
It would be a bike of some sort.
It will definitely
It
be.
will, yeah. Honda possibly.
Oh, sorry, he carried so much speed in the bottom S and the rear stepped out when he caught it, and through top S a bit better. Still a little bit squirrely as he put the power down. There's a lot of power out of that engine. He's across the line now.
And his time was 28.48, speed 101, which means not a huge amount of power to drag him over the line.
Well, he had quite a squirrel as he came out of top S, so I think he lost a bit of momentum.
But despite which, a good time. Gavin McLaren with you in the OMS 2000M.
Yep, right in the centre of the track, keeping it very, very neat and tidy. Sitting up very high in this car. It's not a semi-reclined position at all. He's very much sitting up.
Are people tending to lift at crossing, or are they being brave?
A complete cross-section, Chris.
Really?
Cross-section, yeah.
Anyway, Gavin's passed me nice and neat and tidily through the S's, and he's across the line now.
29.75.
Richard Walker. Yeah, the CF04, which was it their first carbon fibre chassis?
Yeah, it's been around quite some time, this chassis now. Quite an early design. And he's into my view now. Clatters the rumble strip on the inside of bottom S. Nice and neat turn through tops, but he had to get out of the power to get out of top S because he was understeering towards the bank, sorry. Anyway, he's across the finish now.
29.74. Which is exactly 100th of a second faster than Gavin McLaren was ahead of him.
Jonathan Flesher. Down for Harrogate, your neck of the woods.
Indeed.
OMS 28, again with a 1 litre engine.
Going very, very well. There was no lifting there for crossing.
He's getting quicker and quicker in this car, turns it nicely into bottom S. Bit of a wiggle, but he gets it right over to the right side before turning through top S. A little bit of a wiggle through top S, but nothing much to worry about. He's on the power early. He's powering towards the finish, feeding at the gears. Across the line now, 27.73.
109 over the line. Up next, car number 82 is Nigel Pitt. Another middle-aged OMS. When I say middle-aged, what, 8 years old or so?
Yeah, the 3000 is space frame rather than, so it's space frame chassis with carbon fibre bodywork. It's their latest design of that. So this one's, I think, 3 or 4 seasons old, maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's already with me. I love the carbon fibre bodywork and the almost Kawasaki green metal work on the car. Very neat and tidy through the S's across the line.
28.42 for Nigel. Richard Brandt. He'll be quick.
He is. Bit of a lift at the start of crossing, but that enabled him to get it straightened up and then lifting and the change of colour in the barriers into S's.
Uses a bit of curve on the inside of bottom S and has a bit of a wiggle through top S, a bit oversteery as well, but he's controlled it well. He's up the finishing straight, he's feeding at the gears, and he's across the line now.
28.77, 102, Richard. On the line is Tom Morgan. Relationship between the two Morgans? Do we know, brothers, father, son? Tom
I haven't had a chance to ask them yet.
Tom and Steve.
Pass, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that.
Still accelerating through, striking sparks at the early part of crossing and then into the kink. Lots of them.
Carries loads of speed into bottom S. Nice and neat, tight through the S's. Bit of a wiggle as he came out of top S, but carried loads of speed. Hits the rev limiter as he came out of top S, but he's across the line now.
And a good run in the 27s, 27.86 for Tom. 106 and 107, so steadily through the speed traps. He must have been quick round the corners, he was. If you look at the S sector on your screen, well, you have got a screen, but
17.74.
Yeah,
8.25 for the S sector.
Is good. Clive Austin, who was done in Monaco in his E-Type last weekend.
And his E-Type?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Had he gone on holiday?
Yep. Oh, a quick visit to, was it Monaco Historic last weekend?
It's the
Grand Prix.
The main Grand Prix. Yeah.
Very neat and tidy through bottom S for Clive. Nicely through top S as well. He's popping and banging as he feeds at the gears, and he's across the line now.
To record a 28.74. Good way of getting to sleep is to watch the Monaco Grand Prix. The procession of cars crawling around. Well, crawling is a bit unfair, but only a bit. David Tatham, car number 86, DJ Firehawk.
He's through kennel.
DJ are extremely skilled at making racing cars.
Trailing throttle and then giving it the big beats into the bottom S.
Yeah.
Nicely through bottom S, gets right over to the right hand side. Before turning right nice and late into top S. Very neat and tidy, got on the power really early. This will be quick. It's going to be probably between him and Stuart Bickley for the class win tomorrow. He's across the line.
26.73, that is a good run. 109 over the line, 111 into bottom S. Stuart Bickley will be quick.
Yes, he had gear change issues this morning, kept hitting the rev limiter, so he's had a bit of a play with the electronics. Hopefully it's solved.
He's Slightly
Bouncing around
behind
a bit.
Dave on the intermediate times. What's his S's? Yeah, he's
Nicely through bottom S, nicely through top S.
It's feeling 28-ish, this.
Yes, it still
is.
doesn't sound 100%, but he's across the line.
28.68.
Yeah.
Only 95 over the line. Becky Banton, we go back a bit to car number 58.
We do. This is Class D, modified and specialist. Becky in her Westfield FW.
Yes, is the FW. What does FW stand for? We mustn't be rude.
Something Westfield, but anyway, let's
Yes.
carry on. Here he is, Becky, going very nicely in the Westfield.
Presumably Becky and Graham are sharing the car.
Yes,
Yes,
I think
they
so.
are.
And Becky's found an extra 2 cc's, which is nice.
That's handy.
Yeah.
She's got a boring bar for lunchtime.
She's across the line with a 37.76.
7.6.
She's faster than Graham. It's
That'll
those
be those
extra 2
2
cc's.
yeah.
There we go.
Yes, and she told me that she was faster and that he was doing the washing up this evening. He's her dad.
Right, I'm going to hand over for the next 2 batches or so. Next batch, I'm going to hand over to Lloyd, and then I'll do one more batch, and then I'll hand over him to finish out the day. So I'll speak to you in a second.
Are you staying with your mum tonight?
Yeah, going back home.
That's easy.
Not
isn't
going yet, though.
it? You didn't want to go back to Brixton
No.
on a Saturday evening?
No, I'd get there and have a cup of tea and turn around and come back.
Yes. So, an interesting day of practice, and tomorrow it's really serious stuff, and we're praying that the weather forecast is correct.
Why, are we looking forward to rain tomorrow?
No, the Beeb are promising sunshine and warmth and dryness,
Lovely.
which would be good. Becky Manton, I think, would like FW to stand for fast woman.
I have returned. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Lloyd. How many Clios have you seen in the car park at lunchtime? Did you go around inspecting?
Do you know what? We're a bit low on the Clio front, to be honest, on this fine Saturday. There's only 2 here. However, we've got all sorts of fantastic other bits and pieces. There's a couple of interesting things I've seen. I think Arnie Fleck's going very well in his RS3. I think he's last year we had a Golf R which was going.
But there's something funny about which class he actually is in, because the program's got him in the wrong one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, really. But there's all sorts of bits and pieces. I mean, for example, Batch 3, the one that I really enjoy, the battle that Richard Snow and Robert Lancaster Gay have in the GT4, their own little GT4 class. But Robbie Burrell's come in that Cayman and stirred it up a little bit, hasn't he? But no, not many Clios around. But that's fine. That's fine. We've got a few single-seaters here.
Robert is raving about the Cayman. When he first had it, he wasn't as quick as he had been in the 911 GT3, I think.
Yes, and his GT3 was quite a thing as well. For those that know, it was a GT3 RS 4-litre.
Yeah.
Very rare.
But I think he's now matching his GT3 times in the Cayman.
Yes.
And he loves it on the road as well. He drove it up to Prescott and it was showing 30 miles per gallon. He wasn't hanging around.
Absolutely. Well, he's got the PDK version as well, which is the automated dual clutch transmission, which does save a little bit of time.
Yeah. We've got that in our Giulietta, and it's great.
Yes.
I mean, people say that they can be unreliable, but touch wood.
Well, auto boxes aren't what they used to be. They're not three-speed Slushtronics anymore, are they? They're quite slick and quite nice to use, aren't they? So they're a bit different. So flags are in at the top of the hill, guys. How about you?
Yep, they're in here at Crossing. Just had a text message from my son who was watching online and saying, "Oh, brilliant coverage, well done, chaps." But he just checked to see that his TikTok of the RAC dragging his paperweight horrible car off his drive, his failed electric car, he put it up at 10:15 this morning. How many views do you think as of now, 3:30?
10,000.
108,000.
Good God.
Good effort.
I think he's gone viral.
Good effort.
It's amazing how many negative stories there are on YouTube and Facebook about electric cars.
Quite so.
It's killing the market for them.
Yeah, I published a photo. I took one up to Scotland a couple of years ago. amazing car, very capable, very lovely, but I plugged it into a BP supercharger and it said 47.35 hours till fully charged. And I took a photo of that and put it online. I said, it's not the answer, guys. If this is what you get at a BP charging point.
We've got an orange car on the line, and
that sounds like my wife commentating, Chris.
yeah, well, she would be correct.
It's an orange car.
It's an orange car from Malta. It's Zach Zammit.
Aha!
And Zach flies all the way over from Malta for an occasional hill climb. He's very quick, and this
Surely is.
I think he's the majority owner of this Empire Wraith.
Up to K2, the class.
Yeah, and he's recently turbocharged as well. He's always super spectacular. He's really on top of it. He got so close to the bank there. Massive oversteer, but he scooped it all up and he's over the line.
26.15 for Zach.
People scratching their heads. When you force induct a car, you increase its CC by a factor of a third. Which is why, despite the fact it says racing cars over 1600 and up to 2 litres, these are all 13 and 1400. It's because you apply that third multiplier, and so they land in that gap of 16 to 2 litres.
Richard Alexander was very quick over the finishing line at 124, but recorded a 30.16, so he must have lost a bit of time on the S sector from bottom S to top S.
It seemed.
Was it wobbly?
Not specifically. I think just a little bit reserved. Just get it to the end of the day.
3 seconds slower than Zach there. That's where the time went. You're absolutely right, Chris.
Yeah. Now, who is this on the line? It's 814.
It's James Chalmers then.
It is indeed.
In his Rolt.
That's Chalmers Jr.
Yes,
Minimus. He's had a few goes in a MX-5, I think, but now he's into big time, and great to see. So is he sharing it with Dad? Yes, he is. So it'll be an interesting battle. It's very annoying when your son beats you.
Absolutely, and this car's got a very, very distinctive sound. You'll hear that anti-lag just to keep the turbo spinning as it does through the S's, and pops and bangs its way over the finish line now.
I think James was very sensible through the S's. 30.93, nevertheless, is not a bad time at all.
very respectable. Bernard Keville with us on the hill now. We lead to 820, which is our over 2 litre racing car class.
I wonder if some people are not taking second practice today. Do they get some practice runs tomorrow? I guess they do.
We're down to batch 1 to 8. We're down to exactly the same tomorrow, going by the practice sheets. Yes.
Yeah.
Bernard Keville 28.85.
Here's Lynn Owen. V8 engine making an unusual but quite healthy sound.
The OMS, Lynn, that tree frog green again, very tiny, very tight at crossing and into the kink.
Absolutely, into my sight now is bottom S. It's just beautiful, just shifts across to the left, takes a slightly slower line towards over the grid, and we're off towards the finish and we're over the line, nice and simple.
30.65. I was wondering if Sandra was driving. Well, here's the answer, she is.
8.24, yep, Sergeant Tom then.
Sharing with son Oliver.
Yeah.
Judd V8, 4 litres.
Yeah, lovely. Sounds great, this car. There's silver flame paintwork, but nice and tidy through the S's. Leads in the gears and we're over the line.
With a 30.09. Has Sandra had the record here? Latest record? At one time, I'm not sure. Lindsay Summers. Wow, Lindsay in the Firestorm. So it's Dad, it's Richard who's driving the P14.
Yeah, Lindsay's just popped into my sight now. Real nice line. Slap back in the middle of the road just avoids the drain cover. Traction control fluffs as it modulates the power. We're absolutely flying towards the finish and across the line. Wow, quick.
Yeah, that was good. 27.84.
Trying to find which class she is in with 704.
I've been trying to persuade Mutaya to bring the car here. And they're keen on the idea, but it's the time and the cost. Sean Gould, Mr. Gould Jr. Does he still hold the record?
He does here.
He does here.
22.37.
Wow. Of course, they're not on their best tyres today. So we've got 2 run-offs tomorrow, for which they are probably preserving their bestest set of tyres.
And Sean's just with me now. I mean, the car just turns just so quickly. It's beautiful through the S's and very quick over the line.
25.39.
I'm heading over to Chris Ponsford. I'll be back in about an hour's time, so Chris can expect to commentate for an hour and a half.
He's cut himself off. Jimmy Harris is on the hill now. 2.56 for 64 feet. 8.21 into kennel. This is back to car 88. This is in our Formula Ford class again. And Jimmy turning into S's now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a slight chirp of a lockup. Takes a load of curb as he clambers over through bottom S. Not a power, actually, it feels like, in that Formula Ford. He's certainly making the most of it as he accelerates his way out of top S, and we're over the line.
33.75, our fastest thus far. By quite a margin, actually. Mike Gallery from Droitwich in his Van Diemen RF86.
Yeah, absolutely. We just tip it into bottom S, beautiful through there, just using the torque of that engine just to drag itself up through between the S's, turns in nicely through top S, and we're out and through the gears, and we'll be heading towards the finish. So slightly older car, I think, than Jimmy's car.
Yes,
I believe. Yeah.
36.08. And with you now, David Owen in the rather lovely Merlin.
Yes, indeed, yes. Again, we're going slightly older again, but really pretty car. This just clambers the drain cover at top S, which can upset some cars, but these Formula 4's got great suspension travel, so it just absorbs it really, really nicely. So we're now over the line.
Les Buck climbing well. He's pictured in the programme on page 26. The Pringet Mistral, very, very pretty car to my eye.
Yes, and I think the nicest name of any
Yes.
car we have here as well. The Pringet Mistral. It's nice to say, and it's a nice to look at car as well. It's really, really pretty, nicely prepared, always immaculate, and always very sure-footed through the S's and off towards the finish as we go.
Yep, Sarah Bosworth now as Les Buck crossed the line in a 36.65. Sarah getting off and turning into the S's now.
Indeed, yeah. Sarah Bosworth, Caroline Ryder, always trading blows with these two cars in the Formula Ford category. Both fantastic drivers, and Sarah, no exception, drives it beautifully through the S's and across the line.
Nicky Cottrell, good afternoon, gents. Nicky Cottrell on the way in a lovely little, actually it's a Lotus Formula Ford, that one, not a Pilgrim.
Trying to get up there, she is. Tis a Pilbeam, Nicola Cottrell.
It's a Lotus Ford. It's a 60. Their normal Pilbeam is broken at the moment, gearbox.
Ah, right.
Well, safely through the S's, and fourth and fifth gear come along to take it over the finish line.
Yeah, Caroline Ryder on her way to you in the little Van Diemen RF86. Always a close battle between her and Sarah. We'll see what happens there.
Through and into the S's.
Yeah, indeed, Caroline, mother of Matthew, who you'll see a bit later in the slightly more powerful cars. But Caroline beautifully through the S's and feeds the gears, and we're across the finish line, beautifully tidy, and over the finish now.
Okay, Darren Gumby on the way in his Ford TA Mistral, sharing this with Paul Jones. He's absolutely flying too as he heads towards you now.
Taking advantage of the width of the road and nicely under control into the S's.
Yes, unlike last time where he had one of the most sideways moments I've seen without a spin, so collected it nicely, really, really nice through the S's this time, and he makes it across the finish line, no dramas.
Okay, here comes a hard charging Adam Greenham in the Empire. He's absolutely flying through Kennel.
Up into crossing, going hard, lots of sparks from the end plates.
Wow, you can really hear he's leaning on it. The Greenham brothers do love to drive their cars properly, that's for sure. Nice couple of bites as he turns into the top S, and he's straightened it out, and he's feeding it the gears, and he's crossed the line, no problem at all.
Okay, so we've got and David Warburton leading 25.47, Darren Gumby at 26.51, as it looks remarkably like Olivia Cooper or her husband coming to the line. So this is a really exciting class of racing cars, these. Really enjoy watching these. These are nearly all bike engine cars. Seems to be the way to go. So leaving the line, it's Olivia Cooper, very quick lady driver.
is quite often my favoured choice for the line through crossing. She's so accurate with this car. She just puts the car exactly where she wants it, just as she's done for bottom S, just as she's done for top S. She always looks so in control of the car, beautifully prepared, and across the line.
27.92.
27.92. Right, so we've got another Warburton on the line. Will be Alan Warburton this time in the Gold GR59.
Probably David, actually. Alan's already gone.
Oh, okay then, fair enough then. So well, whoever it is really flying. David, over to you.
I believe I believe it is Alan.
So Alan's having his second now. So he's already recorded to 28.86.
Hasn't David gone to a wedding or something?
I believe David's done his runs this morning, Billy tells me, but Alan's fired it through the S's and he's across the line now. I'll try and confirm.
26.40.
Okay.
4 seconds.
Kevin Freeman leading the line in the lovely little Pelbeam MP88. Absolutely beautifully sorted car, lovely to see it.
So to confirm, David did his run this morning because he's at a wedding this afternoon, quite right.
Through and into the S's.
Indeed, yes, just with me. Just takes it slightly wide, but drags it back across between the S's just to straighten the car out early. I think we're a little bit fluffy, but could be having a slight issue there, but we're across the line nevertheless.
31.18 for Kevin. Robert Capper about to lead the line in a beautiful little Empire rate. Superbly turned out car, comes from London. Over to you.
He's through Kennel nicely. Takes the tight line through the long crossing. Kink and into heavy braking into the S's.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful car, these Empire rates, lots of aero, just beautiful through underneath my commentary box. It's been tricky all day underneath the commentary box of the S's, but no problem at all, we're across the line.
Yeah, 27.58 for Robert. Stephen Potter on his way in the Empire Evo. So first season back for a while, going extremely well in this little Empire.
Nicely threading it, doesn't lift at all until stamping on the brakes into the S's, but squarely under braking.
Yeah, absolutely, but beautiful through the S's. This is going really well. I can keep an eye on the S's time here. 8.26 through the S's, really quick, and we're feeding the gears. We're going to be across the line now.
27.30.
Yeah, times are good. Jason Tunnicliffe about to head off the line in his Empire Evo. This is a beautifully turned out car. I did see him. Oh my goodness me! He's onto the grass at Kennel. Is he all right? Wow.
Yeah, he's got it gathered up, but he's compromised his time. Not pushing hard at all now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just a practice day, so no need to be throwing it into the scenery just yet. Obviously, we are going to try and find the limit where we can, ready for tomorrow. But yeah, no problem through the S's, and pops and bangs as it feeds through the gears, sparking over the horizon across the line.
Fantastic, 30.04. We got Richard Spedding in his GWR Raptor 4. This is his first weekend out this season. He was telling me it's a bit quicker than driving his delivery van. He's on the grass as well, going through Kennel.
He is, and keeps it. He's not backed off at all. He's decided to keep the boot in and just see what drops out.
Richard Spedding, a fantastically committed driver here, so on top of his car. He's really planted normally. Little wiggle out of top S, but we're feeding the gears and we're just bouncing across the crest of the road, across the line now.
So that's 26.18. We've got Anime Furnace in the Swallow from the local Team Valley and Team Valley Motorsport car.
She is through me here, very tidy, into the S's.
Absolutely, yeah, just telling it to myself, a little bit of oversteer on the power as she accelerates between the two S's, and another oversteer. I just had to back out of this slightly as we had a little wiggle, but all gathered up, no problems at all, and we're heading towards the finish.
31.20.
Yeah, 31.20. So Jonathan Varley still the quickest at 26.95. We've yet to see, obviously, most of the big V8s coming later. We've got Ian Tucker, who's come up from Cornwall for the weekend. Leads the line in his OMS 28. Bike engine car, Hayabusa engine in the back.
Nicely tight into crossing. Keeps it tighted on the left, a bit of a trailing throttle as he gets down onto the brakes and through the box.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like he braked too soon. It's almost like he had to release his brake and get back on the power again. But this is all part of finding the limit. This is what a practice day is about. Find your braking zone, see what works for you, and we're across the line.
Yeah, 30.62 for Ian Tucker as Aaron Colborne leads the line in the lovely little Van Diemen, the ex-Formula Ireland car. Very nicely turned out car, beautiful.
hitting it hard, really working the wheel.
Yeah, they've been driving this more spectacularly than I've seen this car in previous times. The ex-Formula Island car, really spectacular. This is the most aggressively I've seen Aaron drive this car, which is great to see.
27.44.
Yes, he was aggressive out of top S there, wasn't he? Fair play. We've got Terry Davis now, the next one, in his Porsche TA, his own, well, I say home-built engine, his own engine, the 2-litre V8 he's built.
Nicely through. Heavy on the power. No sparks, no drama. Very, very smooth into the S's.
Yeah, stunning car this. I think this is one of the nicest cars that on the scene. Beautiful engine, home built, and really sounding great as it accelerates off towards the horizon and across the line.
Andy Borgord leaves the line, comes from the Channel Islands, so he tends to get here fairly early in his lovely little Force. Flying up the hill at the moment.
Yep, through crossing, into the kink, nicely does it, gets over to the right hand side, wide entry into the S's.
Absolutely, yeah, a couple of bites of the cherry as we turn into bottom S, big pop of flame out the right hand side of the car as it almost sets the bank alight, out wide and feeding in the gears, and we're across the line, no problem.
Okay, Michael Tregoning is going by in the Pilgrim MP88, another traveller from Cornwall, lovely to see him back out on the hill this year.
Pushing it fairly carefully, but going to be quick because he's smooth.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are continuing on with that smooth theme into bottom S. We're slowing, we're fast out, we're slowing, we're fast out. Top S, little product power, but gets us all straightened up, and yeah, nice and smooth, I think, the word there.
Andrew Henson about to leave the line, 29.72 for Michael Tregoning. Andrew Henson away from the line in the Gold Dallara, sells racing cars for a living.
I'd like to do that.
Yes, so would I. Lots and lots of sparks struck by the Gold Dallara, Andrew's car.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting looking car, isn't it? It's got a double stacked air filter on it, so it's obviously got a massive intake. Trumpets, I would have thought, on the intakes, but across the line, either way.
Stand by. Jonathan Varley, 28.74 for Andrew Henson. Jonathan Varley, the quickest earlier, so what's he going to do for us this time in this marvellous looking Predator?
Keeps it nice, just a sniff of a lift as he came through into crossing, but he's up through the S's nice and smoothly.
Sounds fast, looks fast, just has a little nibble at the curb. Just see the bumps in the road just coming through the chassis, and we've straightened up nicely, and we're feeding it the gears, and we're across the line.
So 26.05 for Jonathan Varley. That's about nearly a second quicker than his time earlier. So things are hotting up, and it's only a practice day. So Jonathan Varley is the quickest in that little class, the 1600 up to 2 litres there, but it is only a practice day. Tomorrow it's the real deal, the big runoffs and all the rest of it, and I'll be surprised if Jonathan doesn't get into the runoffs. He usually does well, doesn't he? But we'll probably be looking at times in the 22s, 23s tomorrow if the weather stays good.
Absolutely, yeah, let's hope so. I think Top S has been tricky so far for a lot of people this morning. It seems to be the word in the paddock that Top S is tricky, and I must say it looks it as well. But I'm sure it'll rubber in, hoping for a warmer day tomorrow. Hopefully the sun will hit. It looks like they've clipped back some of the trees even further this year as well, just to see if we can get that sunshine and heat up the track so we can get a good exit out of Top S. But cars are making their way back down the hill now. I've had a nice time chatting with this batch, but I always think it's great to have the best people doing the right job at the right time, and Billy is the man to talk you through this next batch of cars. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time seeing this next batch, we've got the big boys, we've got Wallace Benz is coming up, we've got Alex Summers and all the other big cars coming up, Matthew Ryder in the Gould GR59, so I'm just going to pass you back over to Billy, and then I'll take back over when we talk about all the Clios and Peugeot 106s again. So how's that sound? Right.
Welcome back, Billy, when you come. And Guy, you're on your own today.
I am.
Flying solo there at Crossing, aren't you, today?
Yeah, I quite like Crossing though. It's my favourite commentary spot here.
It is the commentary box with the best view.
Yes, of everything.
Of the lot.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful view, isn't it? Yeah.
Chris, you'll have to keep an eye.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going to have a few dual-driven cars first, and then we're into the fastest of the fast cars. You'll need to see if you can see number 8, Davey Wren, in the queue.
Ah, right, okay.
They were fixing it. I don't know if they managed to get it fixed in time for this batch. We'll see. So
that'd be remarkable if they did. I mean, looking at the photographs I saw that Rob McDonald took earlier, that was quite a moment that Nicola had. And,
it was wishbones and a bit of rear floor.
was it?
I think.
Would they carry wishbones?
Yeah, they had them. I spoke to them earlier. I went to see them. They said they've got the bits. So they were just. I don't know if they'll get it done today or out tomorrow. Hopefully, if they can get it done today, even if they get it done in a batch's time, they'll be allowed to run. But it'd be good if Dave got practice. So let us know what you see.
Well, I will. And you've got to say that the Mingers team are rather good at getting things fixed, aren't they? You know, they seem to have had a bit of practice with that lately. But let's be fair. If anybody can, they can.
Yeah, when I was down there, Trevor Willis was lending a hand, as was Scott Moran as well. Scott's here today. So
isn't that brilliant? The spirit of hill climbing. That
Yeah.
is such a great thing about it, isn't it, really? Everyone mucks in and helps each other out. Well, even on practice, we're having quite a day, aren't we?
We are, and Spirit of Hill Climbing, as you say, I've just had a text message to Roland and Harry, who are sat at the bottom S's, watching and enjoying. Welcome. Good to have you here. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The 3, 4, 5 of us talking utter nonsense most of the time. But that's the great thing about hill climbing. It's a dad and lad day out, or a mum and lass, or a whole family day out for not an awful lot, is it? For what you get to see, cars travelling past at upwards of 160 miles an hour, it's not a big ask for the price of admission, is it?
Well, I've got to say that if you compare it with going to watch a top Premiership football match or cricket or golf, I mean, it's peanuts compared with those, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Nicer people as well.
Oh, without doubt. And
Like Roland and Harry, yes.
You can stop and have a beer. I'm just looking at the restaurant area now. The big live screen is working today, which is nice to see. There's plenty of people down there sprawled out on various things. There's sort of like inflatable sort of things, and great to see it. And I know tomorrow that'll be really packed down there, won't it?
Oh yes, indeed, especially if it's sunny.
It was a big, very popular thing, wasn't it, when they've put that up, actually, to be fair. This is a stunning venue. Shelsley is incredibly well sorted these days. Excellent bar, restaurant, and good new facilities. We've got new facilities, haven't we, for all your needs down there? The new eau de toilette block, you know.
Eau de toilette block, yes.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic. Well, I've got some lovely stuff sort of getting ready to rumble. The whistles have just been blown, the flags have been waved. We're going to be back in action very shortly. As you say, we're into the big boys, the big bangers, plus a lovely mix of cars to follow or come before them. So we're looking at this. I think we've got quite a few of the historic ones. Yes, here comes the lovely Chevron. Amanda George and her dad. Stunning history car, this one of the prettiest cars in the paddock without a doubt. 2-litre 16 valve engine in the back, new engine last year. Absolutely beautiful, stunning car. Do you like that one, boys?
Oh yes.
The Chevron is such a pretty car.
Yeah. They got it absolutely right, did Brian and his team up in Lancashire.
Yes, great history car Chevrons. They punched above their weight too, didn't they?
They did. So we've got a couple of dual-driven historics, which we're about to see. Then we've got the forced induction up to 2-litre class, and then we've got the big bangers after that. So some of the fastest cars of the weekend you're about to see. We're already into the low 24s this morning. So
who was in the 24s?
Alex, Will and Matt.
Really?
So Alex
Wow.
Summers did a 24.28, Will Hall a 24.64, Matthew Ryder did a 24.70. So already into the 24s. That was the first time they'd gone up here this year. So it's pretty impressive. Well, I think Alex was here a few weeks ago, but point is, first practice
Yeah,
into the 24s.
it is. It's pretty much the first meeting for most of us, I think. I think you've been here already, Guy, haven't you, for one of the meets?
I've done 2 so
You
far
did.
this season.
Which ones did you do?
I did, and let me have a look at my card. I was here on the 4th of May, and then I was here for the Haggerty.
Oh, the Haggerty, that's
event as
right.
well.
Yes, you were. Well, it's Amanda George on the line. She's here with her father. They travel up from London way in Kent, I think. But this car we do see a lot of, but it is such an absolute treat, as are all these lovely historic cars. And this one, it's just mint, isn't it? It was owned by Joe Sifford at one time, ex-Formula One, very famous Swiss driver. And she's just on the revs now. Everything's looking good, ready to rumble. There's nothing to stop her now. She's going to pull her visor down any moment now, and hopefully have a nice clear run.
A great design of a car that could do the Le Mans 24 hours and also go hill climbing, isn't it?
Did it do Le Mans this?
Not this one, but B19s did.
Yeah,
B19 certainly did,
right.
yes.
Okay, well, here she comes now. She's just left the line now. Sounds absolutely tremendous, looks great. Lovely, neat line through Kennel there. Over to you.
Through Kennel, indeed. Just a flick to get it straight again, Amanda. Hands at the ascribed 10 to 2 on the steering wheel. Up she goes and into the S's with you now.
Yes, into my sight now, looking. This car is just absolutely beautiful, very neat and tidy, as you'd expect from Amanda through the S's. Absolutely no dramas at all. Power down, accelerates a lot, away to the finish.
Joseph Mackerel away in the Tigger, little yellow single-seater. Nicely turned out car, that one. I think it's got a 2-litre Ford engine in the back of it.
835, yep, first of sports racing and racing cars from 72 to 1990. The SF83.
Into my sight now, this lovely little Tigger in bright yellow. You're not going to miss it. Very neat and tidy through the S's. Gets the power down and powers towards the finish. Does a 33.26, and Amanda George did a 33.45.
Okay, I've got William Lockridge in the Works Empire Wraith. This is, as you know, a beautifully turned out car. Zach Zamich is co-driving this car this weekend. Zach has come all the way from Malta to be with us, and always very quick. William's enjoying the drive of this car. He's away from the line. Looks absolutely tremendous, doesn't it? What a lovely car.
Beautiful machine. Got it nicely dialed in. See that as the light begins to fade, begins a bit grey, you can see the dash lights.
Yes, as
flickering.
Yes, a couple of attempts at turning into top S, but no problems at all. Puts the power down and the car just rockets. I'm not sure it's running fully on 4 cylinders, but it's across the line, 27.79.
Okay, something a bit exciting. 27.9. Pete Tatham. The Tatham brothers, they are always entertaining. Young Pete, I was chatting to him earlier, he could write a book about his life. Incredible. In his OMS, he will be trying very hard indeed. Over to you.
Yep, through Kennel, right-hand side of the track, gets it across into the middle, holds it, pushes through, comes to the kink, just kicks up some spray there, or some dust, no sparks, but certainly some material out the back.
Oh, carries loads of speed through bottom S, but it was a bit understeery, but he's tied it up beautifully. Much better through top S in the supercharged 1300cc OMS 28. It's across the line already. 26.79, 26.79.
Yeah, good time. We've got Paul Alexander in this lovely little Force. This is a beautifully turned out car, this one. This must be one of the very latest Forces.
PC is actually the earlier one.
Is it really?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Is it really? Well, it looks absolutely tremendous. It's beautifully turned out. Over to you.
Yep, very clean lines on this car. Through in the middle of the circuit. Little bit of squirreling as he gets the power down. And again, as he comes up to the kink, a bit of a lift there for the kink and braking down and changing.
Yes, into my view now. If it's the same car, this is the one that used to be owned by Tony Hunt, but I don't know if it is the same car, if it's just the same colour. Anyway, he's up through the S's, got it in a straight line now, rocketing towards the finish, across the line.
Okay, he finishes in a 33.83. John Chalmers in the Rolt. This one reminds me of a sort of a mini Formula One Mercedes. Isn't it a supercharged bike engine? It's
turbocharged.
Turbo, is it? This one. It always sounds like popping and banging as it leaves the line, but there's a lot of power. There's over 400 brake horsepower in that engine, isn't there?
Oh yes, depends on how much boost he's running.
Yes, quite. Yeah, a Sauber or a Mercedes definitely in the colour scheme. Nice and tidy and quick into bottom S.
Yes, appears into my view now, crackling and popping and banging as it comes through the S's, as it the anti-lag, and it gets the power down, a bit squirrely as he comes out of top S, but no problem now, and he's across the line. 28.59, 120 miles an hour across the finish.
Here comes young Paul Hames in his Gould GR59. The colour scheme on this one is lovely. He is always quick. He's a regular top 10 run-off man. He's probably finished as high as about 4th or 5th in his time. Anyway, he's about to leave the line now.
9th
yeah,
not so clean, last year.
Not so quick off the line as normal, perhaps a bit fluffy.
He's pushing on though, he's pushing very hard. The perfect lines, everywhere. This will be a quickie.
Yes, he did 25, a low 25. What can he do now? So he's very neat and tidy through bottom S. Gets over to the right side, turns through top S on the power early. This car's got so much power as it rockets away towards the finish. Is he going to do another 25? Cross the line, 25.70. 25.70.
Well, you said it'd be good, and it was good. 25.7. Harry Pick, another young charger in his OMS. This one has got the big IndyCar V8 in the back of it. Latest spec OMS. Should be quick. Was Harry in the 25s earlier?
Not quite. But he's still learning this car, so it's the same engine as Alex Summers has in the back of his, but in the back of an OMS 28.
Yep, through me. Looking a bit skittish.
He breaks into bottom S, turns it into bottom S. This is only they had a half season with this car last year, so he's still learning the car. Bit of a wiggle as he came through top S, gets the power down now though, and it rockets away towards the finish across the line. 27.78.
Richard Summers is away in the AMS P4T. Stunning looking car built by Alex Summers in the family garage. Fantastic.
Yep, through me. Flat chat. Brakes. Down change twice. Into bottom S.
Love the sound of this car, that wonderful howl of the open 2.5 litre V6 in the back. Lovely neat tidy from Richard through the S's as you'd expect. Gets the power down across the line now. 28.39. 120 miles an hour across the line.
Here comes another Cornish traveller, Paul Crute in the OMS 28. V6 Jag engine in the back. It's out of a road car, but it wouldn't think so. It sounds terrific, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the look of the former Stewart Racing Jaguar Formula 1 cars, but just lacking a little something from that engine, I think.
Yeah, sounds brilliant though, and he really enjoys hill climbing this car. Sounds wonderful as it howls up towards the finish. It's still a quick car. He's up the finishing straight. He's across the line. 30.89, 123 across the line.
Okay, well, this looks remarkably like young Graham Wynn. Graham Wynn, he's still a really special driver. He's about 73 years old. He's got loads of grandchildren, a highly successful businessman. This was the car that he bought for himself on his retirement. Scotty Moran drove it last year very successfully. Scott's actually in the paddock today as well, but Graham was over the line at 160 plus. Don't shout that out, folks, this morning.
Yeah, the 4 litre Judd engine to Gould.
Here he comes. Leaves the line. Very quick car and driver. My goodness me. Thundering up to you, Guy.
Yep, through Kennel. Nicely in the middle, weaving slightly. Looking ahead, his eyes are fixed. Again, the dash lights flicking on and off and into bottom S already.
Yes, into my sight. Nice and neat and tidy from Graham through bottom S. Gets right over to the right before the left before turning through top S. Very neat and tidy through top S. Get on the power really early there. This is going to be a quick time across the line. 25.87, 146 across the line.
Simon Andrews is away in the OMS, which is sharing with Bernie Cavill. Over to you.
Yep, through Kennel. Slap bang in the middle. This is the racing line for race cars. Late apex at the crossing and into bottom S.
Yes, into my sight now in the V8 OMS 28 for Bernie. Very neat and tidy through bottom S. Nice and neat and tidy through top S. Gets the power down. Bit of popping and banging from the traction control, but it's away towards the finish and across the line. 29.20.
Steve Owen in his OMS 28, the builder of these OMSs. He's here with his wife Lynn. There's nothing he doesn't know about OMSs. Based in York, I believe. This one has got a V8 in the back of it. Here he goes now. You can't miss it. That lovely green and black car is going into Kennel now.
Yep. He uses the road nicely, swings from side onto the other side. Bit of corrective lock as he comes through. Kink, but he's up there safely.
Carries loads of speed into bottom S. Oh, yeah. Big drift as he came through bottom S, but he caught it nicely. Another drift as he came through top S, also caught it nicely. This is a spectacular run from Steve. He's across the line, 27.07.
27.07 as Terry Graves leaves the line in the DJ Gould G55. Spectacular looking car, quite an old car now, but you wouldn't think so. Big V8 in the back.
Goes through, kicking spots everywhere. There's carbon fibre losing the bottom off that bus.
He's into my view. Oh, big wiggle as he came through bottom S, but he caught it. Carried loads of speed through top S over in the middle of the road, gets the power down. The car rockets away towards the finish, sparking a little bit up the finishing straight, across the line. 26.44.
Yeah, Jack Cottrell now in his Delara. Jack, young charger. Their mum and dad are here as well, driving the front. Oh, this engine sounds amazing today. My goodness, he's flying.
He is. Uses all the track. Nicely tight at crossing. Big red
exit Top S, but he did so, and he's across the line now, 25.80.
Oh, excellent run by Jack, well done. Oliver Tomlin coming up in Mum's Pilbeam. This car, I think, is a beautiful looking thing. It's a 2013 car. I love the colour scheme on it. Got a big thumping Judd V8 in the back, one of the last of the big Pilbeams built. Oliver drives it very well, and he's on to you.
He is. Nice tight line, actually. That's different to most of the big banger single-seaters. Tight again. Just brushes the bank on the left again at the kick, but he's okay.
Into my view now, turns it nicely through bottom S. Bit of a wiggle as he came through the S's as he applied the power. Bit of a wiggle as he came out top S. Traction control fighting the traction of the car, but he's up the finishing straight. He's across the line, 27.21.
David Uren. David Uren, they made it, they've done it, they've jolly well done it, they've got the car fixed, amazing to see. So it's David Uren about to leave the line. Oh wow, yeah, certainly, he's not hanging about, is he? My goodness.
Nicely through, clean, through the kick, very, very not hanging about.
Here he is, Dave Uren, he goes very well here. Bit of a wiggle as he came through bottom S, through top S, absolutely fine through top S, got the power down nicely, rocketing towards the finish. Is it going to be into 25s for his first run of the day? It is, 25.49.
Wow,
brilliant effort to even be on the hill, that's fantastic.
Here we have the man that finished runner-up at Harewood a couple of weekends ago, Scary Trev Willis. Oh my goodness me, he's not hanging about. This is a practice day, folks, somebody done told them that.
Yeah. Flat chat, absolutely on it. Sparks everywhere again from this one all the way up.
Here's into my view into bottom S, turns in nicely. Bit of a wiggle as he comes through the S's. Comes out of top S, much neatly and tidily through the S's. Really nicely from Trev. Bit of sparks as it hits the ground, but he's across the line.
24.91, my goodness me. Will Hall. Will Hall was rapid this morning too, wasn't he? Will Hall in this lovely brand new gold, fabulous looking car. Got all the right toys on this one. Big Judd in the back to him. Will drives it well.
Does. Threading. Nicely through. Up he goes.
Into my side now, he was very quick this morning. Carries lots of speed through bottom S. Into top S. Turns it through nicely. A little bit of a wiggle, but nothing to worry about. Got the power down early. Rocketing up the finishing straight, and he's across the line. 24.33.
24.33. Quick as Alex Summers. Your Clark Eid with a 24.28. He leaves the line now. In that firestorm, screams away.
Through Kennel, takes all the track on the right, then drifts over to the left again. Makes the apex absolutely bang on again. Crossing, and he's through to bottom S now.
Yes, appears into my view. It's beautiful through bottom S. Into top S. Nice and neat. Tidy gets on the power really early. Slap bang in the middle of the road. He heads up the finishing straight. He's across the line now. 23.93. He's into the 23s. 23.93.
Well, it's getting better. Well, here's a young man that can do something about it. Whether he's going to save his powder for tomorrow, I don't know. We've got young Matthew Ryder. Matthew Ryder is currently leading the British Championship at the moment. Winner of several runoffs this year already. So, is he going to take a double take here this weekend? We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. Anyway, Matthew Ryder. He did a 24.7, so is he going to bother with a 23 today, or is he just going to have a cruise up the hill? Time will tell. I don't know if he's got a cruise in him, do you?
I don't think he does cruise.
It's not a setting he's fitted with.
No, here he goes anyway. Lovely smooth exit off the start, yes. Oh, absolutely, looking lovely. Over to you.
Smooth, through Kennel, switches it around. Oh, just touched the arm coat, sparks everywhere, but he's got it collected up.
Carried lots of speed into bottom S, big stab power through the S's, very neat and tight through top S, got the power early, he's up the finishing straight. What's he going to do to the 23s? Yes, 23.61. 23.61, fastest time of the day so far.
23.61, and we have the mighty Flying Scotsman himself, Wallace Mingus. His crew release him from now. He's just doing his warm-up, smoking the tyres as he comes to the start. This amazing looking Gould that's been rebuilt from a nasty accident at Craigannet. Anyway, he was telling me that nearly everything had got damaged on the car, so they've replaced most things. Anyway, so he's still on a bit of a voyage of discovery with it, setting it all up, getting it all ready. But you won't see a better looking car on the paddock. He's got that distinctive Union Jack helmet as well. He's going to be pulling his visor down. He'll be happy to get in the 24s today, I think.
Yeah, the car was stuck in gear this morning as well, which didn't help.
The revs are going up and up. definite look of an 80s, 90s Ferrari about it as well.
Absolutely beautiful car. Turns into bottom S. He's taking it nice and steady. Getting it right on the board out of top S. Carries those speed out of top S. Popping and banging the 3.3 litre V8. Howling in the back. Across the line. 25.77.
Yeah, still betting that car in, I think, really. But very interesting. Matthew Ryder, the quickest. Alex Summers, second quickest. Will Hall, third. So, yeah, shaping up very nicely for tomorrow. We've got a full paddock up the top. It looks like we've got red flags out. So we'll be getting this lot released, which is on the way back to you now, Billy.
Yes, I'm gonna step away because I'm gonna head down to the paddock. Because if you're watching the stream, we're going to try doing a little evening paddock.
Oh, brilliant.
Mosey. To see what we can see and see who we can talk to. So I'm going to hand back to Lloyd, and I will speak to you all here at the Hill tomorrow.
And I understand tomorrow you're going to be sharing Vox with Chris.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so that'd be great. So excellent. Well, we've got I don't know how many cars we've got left to come. Got a batch of two, haven't we? So, young Lloyd, you back in place?
He will be.
He will be indeed. Well, Guy, you're still flying solo up there, aren't you?
I am. I'm just pouring my afternoon cup of tea.
Did you tell me that you were heading off back tonight because you've got to go to
I am. Got a family reception in Manchester this evening.
Have you really? And then back down here in the morning?
Back down in the morning, yes.
That's commitment.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Well, I was planning on taking up a very kind offer of accommodation at Chateau Ponsford.
You were indeed. But, well, I think...
Family comes first.
We've got you down for classic nostalgia, haven't we?
Hope so.
I think that was the plan, wasn't it?
Yep, see you there.
Yeah. So, Chateau Ponsford. Well, trust me, folks, it's not quite that grand. There's no wings at my house. No, I haven't got a west wing or an east wing. But nevertheless, we'll find a little bit of accommodation for you somewhere, Guy. We'll sort you out.
Potting shed, it's fine.
Yeah. Actually, we have foxes come to my garden every night. You know, I have to tell you, we do feed them. So, and we switch when they come, the telly goes on hold for a bit, and we watch the foxes. And the most we've had is 3 in one go. But we've yet to see cubs turn up yet. So you might even get to see Charlie Fox when you come in nostalgia time.
I would be honoured.
Well, I think it'd be great. I think they'll have to put on a show for you. So, well, we hope you're all enjoying your hill climbing, folks. If this is the first time you've been here, I see the car park is thinning out a little bit, but this is the practice day. But for a practice day, we've had a blooming good day, haven't we?
Surely have. Getting down the 23s, that is quite impressive on a practice day.
Yeah, especially considering as well. I do think it's quite green still up in the S's. I think it takes a few rounds for the track to kind of bed in inverted commas. So
a lot of sliding up there, I've noticed today on the live stream. A lot of sliding.
This morning there was a couple of times where I was wincing as cars headed towards the bank and managed to get themselves, back out of the inevitable drift. But it was, and a few cars were on the edge as well just then. Got some good shots for our social media, and I should remind everybody, any videos, anything like that you capture today, please do tag at Shelsley Walsh, hashtag Shelsley Walsh, with any video that you may have on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is that you do it with us in our hashtag, please. Thank you.
Very shortly, I'm going to be handing back to Chris Druitt, who's going to come and finish off up here. That's been a lovely batch of cars to commentate on. I must admit, I've thoroughly enjoyed those. So I shall be back tomorrow, and I'll leave you in the capable hands of Chris Druitt.
Thank you, Chris. Well, I'm hoping, checking the weather forecast, Guy, I think that we're having a slightly better day of weather than we're having today. I mean, heaven forbid, being in June, we should have some sunshine, but I think we might actually get some tomorrow. I don't want to jinx it, but I do think we're going to get some sunshine tomorrow.
I look forward to that. I mean, it's not unpleasant now. It's still t-shirt weather. There's a lot of people here enjoying the gloaming. If we were further north, that's what we'd probably call it.
It's certainly t-shirt weather if you've walked up and down the hill a couple of times. I'm going to have to say at the top, it's a little bit chilly.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, if I may call you that.
Good evening, Chris.
Thank you.
And coming to the line is Vernon Williamson in a car that we've never seen before here today. A very rare car called an Osper, made in the outskirts of London, where the checkered flag garage used to be. And this car was used as a development car for the DFV Cosworth engine, because it's got its engine lying flat on its side and they experimented with this car to sort out the lubrication system for the V engine of the DFV. Fascinating.
So it was made under the auspices of Cosworth.
It was indeed. Auspices.
Auspices.
And it's got a Renault gearbox that started life with 3 speeds. Now they squeezed 5 in.
Everything have a Renault gearbox at that sort of period of British motorsport.
Formula Junior did, yes. My Lotus 18 did, and the gearbox was the wrong way round. It was up, down, and then over to the left for 3-4.
Speaking of said gearbox, I think he may have had to clutch kick that to get it through the S's. So whether we have some sort of selection issue or not, commentator's curse.
45.41.
He did say he was having trouble finding gears. Here's the Cortina.
Box full of neutrals, Governor.
This was this came back from South Africa, and the South African Cortinas had a bracing bar across the front of the bonnet because, you know, to deal with the rough roads out there.
Wow. Australian Cortina ones came with a slant 6-sport.
Oh, did they? Gosh.
It's just such an educational experience with you two, isn't it? I failed to not learn something. So thank you. As that lovely Cortina has a little wiggle under my commentary box and applies some power to get to the finish.
Here comes Jan Nitsch, who we were familiar with in the 500 class, but now he's really enjoying this U2 Malak and going very well in it.
He is, isn't he?
As he said, much easier to run than the Star Ride.
Well, it's a 1500 pre-cross flow, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably the neatest car here in terms of size. I mean, it's so small, isn't it?
It is.
It's so small you can just pick yourself. It must be like being at Silverstone in that thing.
Choose your line.
Just imagine turning up at the Nürburgring with a U2 and the Germans all raising their eyebrows. Here's Simon Taylor in the very, very famous Stoveboat Special, HWM, Hersham and Walton Motors down in Surrey. And he's indeed written a book about the history of HWM, the detail of every car, and if you're strong enough, you can lift it. I'm not strong enough.
It comes in a 2-volume slipcase. It's wonderful.
What's the relevance of the regnum? Because it's not Simon's initials, I believe. What's the RPC2 stand for?
It's a Surrey plate, so whether that's
well, it is of the era where you'd even drive to a Grand Prix race.
yeah.
So it's probably its original number plate from 1951.
Very cool.
Simon finishes with a 37.78 in the Stoveboat. Bryony going well in this lovely little Elva Mark 7. Competition for the Lotus 23.
Yeah, and peering through the S's and as sure-footed as ever, feeding the power in a little fluff as it hits the limiter, but sounding good, going great, across the line.
37.45 for Bryony.
Interesting talking to Carol Nichols, whose dad, Ken Nichols, made Nike cars down in Devon, and he also built lots of Lotus chassis to repair the ones that have been bent, and really he's the origin of famous of the 38 Lotus 23s built, only 57 remain, because people used to get him to build them a Lotus chassis. So Brian Meddings into bottom S. We're waiting for Rich George in the lovely Chevron.
I was going to say, speaking of Lotus, Brian's very beautiful Lotus single-seater under my commentary box, no dramas through the S's and across the line.
Did we give a time for Martin Jones?
34.06.
And Brian has just done a 38.01. Now here comes the Chevron. Where is he? On his way into the S's.
Richard, on his way into the S's. The Kink, he's into the S's. Now, Martin's practice nowadays of replicating Lotus chassis would have got him into a lot of trouble, usually serious, wouldn't it? In these litigious times for rights infringement.
We bought a Chevron B8 once in pieces in Germany and rented a truck and brought it back through Dover Customs. We told them it was hand baggage. We said, all the bits in the back we can carry through by hand, and we'll prove it if you like. They said, go on, shove off.
Richard George, 35.52 in that lovely Chevron.
And Andy Tippett in the Brabham, 32.01. Quick over the line, 113. And here's Malcolm Thorne, Sadly, Sarah not competing. She's wandering around saying, I'm bored. Because unfortunately her car turned sharp right at the S's at Prescott last weekend when a drive shaft broke, and it broke her thumb at the same time.
Ouch. 32.12 for Malcolm.
Here's Robin Johnson in the famous Tiger SF83. I used to call these Tigers because it was Tim Shaken who, with Howden Ganley, built these cars, but Howden corrected me. He said, no, mate, they're Tigers.
At Le Mans, when they were in sports cars with Gordon Spice, he always called them Tigers.
Yes,
Spice.
Tigers, yeah.
That might have been Gordy's accent.
My wife when she was 3, used to play in a sandpit with Gordon Spice. I don't know what they played.
Stop it!
I don't know what they played at, but she was only 3, so
Gordon was 50, but
they were exactly the same age. He was a lovely guy. He was a great friend of my wife's father. His father was a co-director of the company. Here comes the Alpine.
I adore these.
will he carry on and just go home? As this is his last run of the day?
Just stays at the top.
I think they've done a great job with the new car. It's good enough for Gordon Murray, it'll be good enough for anyone.
Someone at a certain hill climb, when this car was going up, said, isn't it, this Sunbeam Alpine is in beautiful condition.
Someone at last weekend's Prescott Historic described GP1 ERA as a Bugatti.
No.
That got called out instantly on Facebook by the VSCC folk.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a prison sentence.
Yeah. Simon Derling, a 39.27.
Here's Bill Drysdale, first outing for the 904 FF since it got a bit bent here at Shelsley a couple of years ago. Been nicely rebuilt, and it was wrapped in silver last night, during the week, and it looks very smart now.
It's sounding a bit better than it did earlier. It was struggling with gear selection earlier. I think we're sounding much healthier. I'm pleased with
It's got a Ferrari sort of gear lever gate, and one of the slots wasn't long enough. Bill couldn't get the gear lever back far enough.
Ross McDonald at the top of the tree, number 139 in the Porsche 2.7 RS replica. Just across the line in 36.52.
Billy in the FF 46.49 says something else must have gone a bit wrong, I think.
And we leap back now to car 75, which is
Tom Weaver.
Tom Weaver. I've got that crossed out. Lizzie Weaver written in.
Well, Tom,
I wonder.
Tom's certainly driving it like he stole it. Exactly. Right. It reminds me of me when I was 18, so good on you, Tom.
And this is not an Empire Evo 2.
No, but you've got to start somewhere, haven't you?
Yes.
Saxo, what a place to go. In fact, quite collectible now. Saxos, 106s, all that kind of stuff. Very collectible.
37.92, good time for a Saxo. It's a good way to start hill climbing, as is that Rover. What's the little Rover 25?
There's an MG ZR 160. Now,
yes.
Think about that. That's the higher power variants. That's the K series of the 160 brake horsepower. They did a 135 brake horsepower, and they did a 160 brake horsepower. Can you tell my father-in-law used to be ex-Rover? And I've sat there at many barbecues and politely listened to him. And
Yawning.
Yeah. No, he'd never hear that. Never hear
You're
that.
right, chaps. My hill climbing career started in 1993 in a Ford Fiesta XR2 Mark II.
Yeah.
And reached the dizzying heights of a 1959 Grand Prix Ferrari in 2011 at Goodwood. So
Wow.
there is a trajectory there, definitely.
Mine started in 1962 in a Fraser National Mall replica.
Well, I
borrowed my brother's car for one run at Brunton Hill Climb. Do you remember Brunton? No, nobody does.
Well, I started my racing career. I signed for, I think, Jordan F1 team on the PlayStation. I was about 7 years old, and then I went to drive for Subaru World Rally Team. So I've had a very varied career in my my racing life, and I'm currently at the Nürburgring 24-hour later.
There was a lovely message on Facebook about electric cars, and this guy was saying, I don't know what all the fuss about electric cars are. They're not expensive, they're very reliable, and they go very quickly. I've had two, and they're both Porsches, and they're both in excellent condition, but occasionally they get stuck under the sofa.
I will say one thing to defend the electric cars, though, is the Taycan Turbo S. I don't know whether you've ever experienced that, but my goodness me, what a show in the back. I mean, Dan Prosser came and took 2 records with one. The journey.
Yes.
Tesla's insane mode is insane.
It is.
They are fab.
The Taycan Turbo S is, I mean, it is. I know it doesn't have the emotion and the passion of an 911.
How can it have a turbo?
Well, it does. It's a trim level these days, isn't it? But my goodness me, it is very impressive the way that you simply just go from being here to over there.
But I'm told that people enjoyed that for the first couple of weeks and then never use it again. Because it actually makes you feel very uncomfortable.
Once you got over your sore neck, you can't do it anymore.
So I went in a Tesla in, I think it was called outrageous mode or something.
Yes, insane mode.
Insane, 2.5 seconds to 60, and it was uncomfortable and not very pleasant.
You can do that in a DB9 if you plant your right foot far enough, so I don't see the need.
Well, exactly.
In the nicest possible way, I'm not sure a DB9 would know which way a Taycan Turbo S had gone. But I know which one I'd rather take home and live with every day.
Yes.
Our village has 2 electric cars, and an organisation called eWheels that takes elderly people and sick people on social journeys to hospital and things like that. I was one of the volunteer drivers for 8 years, so I had lots of Zoe and Leaf experience, which wasn't exciting.
Yes.
And the Zoe packed up twice on me with big bright red lights saying stop immediately.
They serve a purpose, but they're not for everyone. They do serve a purpose.
It's like driving a fridge.
Have you driven a modern one,
No.
a nice, big, expensive kind of electric? Well, I must admit I have, and I have to say that it is a fantastically comfortable place to be. When you just sort of can't be bothered and you just want to go home, big electric car is quite a nice place to be.
Till home is 250 miles away,
yes,
and it's midnight.
Yes. Apart from that.
And it promises you 260 miles, but after 230, you're stuck at the side of the road. What does the RAC and the AA do to rescue a car that's run out of battery?
They bring a big diesel generator and plug you in for half an hour.
Yeah, I think they have to crane them. It's an early days, and it's early days of technology. So, like anything, it's going to have its challenges. But I'm neither for or against. I appreciate what they can do. But
absolutely,
it's pretty ambivalent.
It's whatever you need it for. If I lived in the middle of Hong Kong or I lived in the middle of London, then I would run an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
No arguments.
Yeah, sure.
But I live in West Yorkshire. We have no public utility chargers, and something that came up in the forum the other day was you get charged 5% if you charge at home, but it's 20% if you charge at work or in a public charging place.
The problem that is arising is depreciation, because somebody bought a Taycan for 120,000 or something, and after a year or less than a year, his best offer was £33,000.
The bubbles do burst. Bubbles do burst.
Yeah, they do.
Right, this is the final run for our Best of British Interclubs. So we've got 9 classes, and I suspect at the end of those, it'll be the end of the day. But that was Chris Westwood from Stourbridge in his Lotus Elise S2 with a 38.87. Now Simon... No, it's Jamie Lacey, car 202.
Yes, and this
Seat Cupra.
It is a Leon Cupra R. This is the higher power variant. It's 225 brake horsepower. It is certainly fighting the traction for the front. I think it's probably pushing in excess of 300 brake horsepower, but quick enough and across the line.
To record a time of 38.87, speed 81. Jamie Lacey 38.3 and 82, so they're very closely matched. Squealy tyres on the hill.
Yes, that's the Fiesta ST. He got too wide coming out of the bottom half of crossing.
And we are he's really leaning on that as he chucks it into bottom S. The rear wheel bouncing. Yeah, God, the chassis really having to work hard there. But we're through. Wild although it was, we are through, and we're going to head across the line now.
Yeah, Simon Baker in his Porsche Carrera 997 comes through now. It's very, very wide at the back. That's really emphasised by the narrowness of Shelsley Walsh.
Yes,
Paul
indeed.
Shaw, a 38.54.
It is indeed, and this 997 variant with a little ducktail spoiler, nicely through the S's, and heading towards the finish line in a nice flurry of noise.
Yep, Simon records a 35.66.
Here's Will Goff in this lovely Alfa.
Which just makes Simon the leader of the class from himself.
Yes, they're the Alfa's pretty car, but they don't quite got the dynamics right from many journalists' perspectives. But nevertheless, pretty car and a future class.
I would say.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to practice day at Shelsley Walsh. We don't usually do a live stream from the paddock on a Saturday, but we thought we'd give you a bit of a bonus episode, show you what's going on in the paddock. So I'm right by the start line, as you can see, and we've got the last of the one-day runners running today. So we have a one-day meeting today that goes alongside the two-day meeting that it was practiced for today. So this here is the start line, has been for 118 years, and you can see the cars leaving the start line behind me. But what we're going to do is we're going to head through the paddock, show you a bit of the paddock, see who we can find after a really good practice day actually. The hill started quite greasy this morning, quite dusty, lots of understeer and oversteer, especially through the S's, but the times have been coming down and down, and Alex Summers got into the 23s by the end of today, which is very good indeed. Just so you can see where we are, we're in what's called the return paddock. So this is the area when you've got a dual driven car, they come through the gate over to our right, and they come into this area, and the second driver gets into the car to then return back up the hill rather than having to go all the way around the paddock. And then the main paddock is down here. So if we head down here, this is the main paddock area ahead of me here, and the start line is now behind us. And as you can see, the Lapworth Motorsport Mini that's been going so well today is just on the start line now. These two cars are immaculately prepared. They're two new guys to hill climbing. We've not seen them before. They usually do track days. Great to have them here. Two new cars, two new competitors, and it's brilliant. And you can kind of see already how steep it is off the line and how not straight it is. The start is not straight to the first corner. You do have to go round the commentary box, otherwise you'll collect us commentators. So please make sure you do go around the commentary box if you're competing here. Otherwise, you'll come and join us. Let's see who we can find in the paddock. We might actually quickly have a quick chat with Tim. Hi, Tim. Tim is our championship organiser. How's the day gone so far for you?
Really good, yes. There were a few incidents obviously this morning, slowed things down, but it's good to be at Shelsley and have a normal two-day format event.
It's not been the easiest start to the year weather-wise, has it?
It's been a very challenging season with having to postpone Prescott, and then the rainy conditions at both Craigantlid and Gerston. We're having to curtail both those events, so there again, good weather here, and it's good to be on a dry track for a change.
But there is no choice when the weather's like that. You've got to put the safety competitors first in cars of this speed. You had no choice. The weather was just too bad.
No, absolutely. I mean, on both those venues, cars are doing well over 100 miles an hour, and it needs to be safe. That's our first priority, as you say. But hopefully we've got off to a reasonable start with the season. We've got a lot of people have got points on the table. We've a record number of championship contenders this year, which is great to see, with over 160 people taking on a national championship.
160?
165 registered, which is unprecedented, really. So that's good in terms of health of the sport.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you ever so much. I'll let you watch the end of the day. We're going to go wander and poke microphone in people's faces that don't want to speak to me. So that's the plan. See you in a bit. Let's see who else we can find. What should we look at here? So in the paddock, right-hand side at the moment, these are mostly the 1100cc cars. Let's have a quick look at this car here, because it's actually one of the most incredible cars in the paddock. It's not quite running cleanly today. It sounded like it had, I don't know if it was running on 2 or 3 cylinders, but it should be running on 4, and it definitely wasn't. It's a BMW engine in the back. It's a GWR Raptor chassis built up in Scotland. Tiny, tiny packaging. Weighs under 300 kilograms. And yet, up Shelsley has the record in the 1100cc class. It's 24.58, I think. It's sub 25, which in a car with a 1000cc engine is absolutely remarkable. And I'll be honest, the engine in this is an absolute monster. It's based out of a BMW World Superbike, so proper power, but really, really cool. So cool to see that car down here. It competes now in Scotland, so it's really, really good to see it down here for the weekend. That's the Wilker Ben Hamer car. That is a supercharged 750cc bike engine, turbocharged 700cc bike engine in the back of there. Really, really cool engine as well. What we're going to try and do is cross the road here and go and talk to some of the competitors who have actually been competing today. So let's see if we can find Alex. Where is he? He might be doing data. Here's his car. Is Alex around? He's wandered off. We'll have to find him later. He might be down with the P40. Let's check if he's down with the P40. So these are all the top cars. They've just come back from their second run of the day. So you'll see most of the drivers sat down doing data, looking at. They plug all their laptops in, download all the data from the cars, see where they're quick and not. So that's probably what they're all doing after a lot of homework to be done tonight to continue to find pace tomorrow. I'm going to see if Alex is down with his P40. I can see Richard Summers is down there. I can't see Alex, so he might have wandered back to his motorhome. Oh no, he's there. Let's go and see if Alex have a word. Richard, David will come over. We'll come over to the car. I want to have a look. It looks so different this year. We'll come and find you in a minute. He tried to hide from me. He can't hide from me. Alex, have you got 10 seconds? Just quickly, we're testing the live stream interview thing today. So fastest today? Good. Happy days.
Second fastest.
Second fastest? Who bit you?
Matt Ryder. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Him. But still, a good day.
Very good day, yeah. Track's quite dusty. It's quite challenging to sort of feel what's going to happen. So we've got a bit of oversteer at bottom S. I think everyone has. But, you know, I think that's kind of commensurate with the time of year and how little rubbering in the track's been. I guess because it's been so wet, all the mud just rolls off the fields. But yeah, enjoyable. It's nice to be here. The atmosphere's great. Seems a good crowd. It's nice to see the stream back and stuff like that. So yeah, happy days.
And car running well?
So far.
Wooden garage, yeah, in tap. And how's the P40 going today?
Yeah, Dad's the only one driving it today, so it's sort of quite rare that it's not dual driven. But yeah, it seems to be going well. I had a little brake binding issue earlier, which fortunately happened in the top paddock. So we think we fixed that. And yeah, just, you know, it's sort of it's a shame really. I don't get to spend as much time on it as I'd like to. Obviously, when you're in the British season, you pull the pin, and you know it's every weekend or every other weekend. But it's just nice to see it out really. And it continues to be a source of sort of joy and frustration.
And pride?
Yeah. Sometimes when it doesn't have binding brakes.
Oh, fair enough.
But no, I love being around it. It wouldn't be, if I was to drive it in the championship, because it's only got the little engine in it, it would probably be more frustrating than anything. But it's just lovely to see it being driven, and you know, all being well, Debbie will be back in it fairly soon, and that'll be off and running.
And just to put some context on little engine, you still did 130 into bottom S last time you drove it here.
Yeah, but I mean that's all she wrote. Whereas, you know, if you used the same amount of throttle on that one, you'd be doing 375 million. I think you know, generally speaking, 130 at bottom S, 130 over the finish line is about what this will do. Whereas the Firestorm's more like 148, 149. So it's quite a significant amount when you consider that the predominant force there is the aerodynamic drag. It's just the big engines just cut through it like a knife through butter, whereas you really feel this tailing off. All things being relative.
All things considered. Not quite like Peugeot 205, but...
No, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I mean, by comparison, it's you know, you feel that 20 mile an hour, but you feel it very much at the end of the straight. So yeah, I mean, but it's still, you know, still very quick. It did a 25.2 or something, but in April in it, and I'm sure it would do a high 23 on the right day. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, have a good night's sleep and some homework with your data, and we'll see you in the morning. Cheers, mate. Thank you. It's busy trying to win a championship, building his own car. And also, if any of you have seen Goodwood and you've seen the McMurty, Alex is one of the drivers of that as well. So he'll actually be at Goodwood later this year, driving the McMurty. So I don't know how he sleeps. I don't know when he sleeps. Doesn't seem to have any time. Let's see if we can have a look at the Legacy, because they've done a load of work on this over the winter. He might have run off again now, but if not, we'll just have a walk around it. This absolutely incredible car, 700 horsepower, started out as a shopping car. Oh, he's here. Hello. Hello. How are you doing?
I had a mad dash up to Rob Toon, who's lost one of his gloves.
Oh, right. So you lent him yours?
So I lent him mine, yeah.
There's a charge for that, isn't it?
Oh, of course there is, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, it's great to see. This is the first time I've seen the car this year. It looks a lot different. It looks like you've been busy over the winter.
Very busy, yeah. Big changes to the car. We changed the gear ratios, changed the front differential. We lost Avon.
Yep.
Obviously, RIP Avon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's looking a bit plain at the moment, but there's news to come on that in the future. Let's see how things go. Turbocharger-wise, we're still on the same turbocharger we were on before, so maxing out 800 horsepower-ish. But there is a new one on the way from AET Turbos, which should be with us in about 2-3 weeks. So AET Turbos are also the sponsor for the new Tin Top Challenge, or the Tin Top Challenge season.
Yep.
So it's great to get them on board for this.
Yeah.
New brakes, new Alcon brakes all round.
Because it was starting to get to the point where you could see it was getting slightly squirrely under brakes.
Yeah, so now we've gone from 360 on the front up to 380, and a full bespoke Motorsport brake kit. So it's not an off-the-shelf kit. This is a proper thing. The rear at the moment just temporary. The full setup's coming for the rear, yeah, it stops really well. It stopped me going in the kitty litter at the top of the hill.
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah.
I've done it in the past.
And Wayne went in there earlier.
Hey, Wayne did it today, yeah. So we discussed with Wayne. We've seen Wayne at Harewood, we've seen him at Gerston, and now here. And I went through some of the corners with Wayne, explained to him about Shelsley and how it all worked. Didn't think to mention about...
It's quite a stop at the finish.
Exactly that, yeah. So...
Yeah, you finished by that point, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, he got the time, but it's still, there was a lot of gravel in there, so yeah.
Well, go very well tomorrow. Have a great day tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing how you get on.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Cheers. So the car's looking mega. Good to see you too. The car is looking fantastic. I mean, if you've been watching any of our streams, you'll have seen the car before. It's an absolute monster. It's 800 horsepower, and it starts out as a road car, which I think is quite amazing. And then what else we've got behind us here? So we're in the kind of 2-litre area of the paddock now. A few Formula Fords, no MS there, with a slightly stretched, even more stretched Hayabusa Suzuki bike engine in the back. So I think it's about 1700cc, but because it's over 1600, it comes into the bigger class. We've got a MP88 Pillbeam there with a 2-litre in the back. This car here I love, the Force, the Orange Force PT of Trish and Terry Davis. They build that engine themselves. It's one or two incidents, but it's been on a common block. So 2 heads of Yamaha motorbike engines and a common block, and it sounds stunning. It produces a lot of power because it's doing over 120 over the line. So absolutely beautiful car. It's on rails, going like a train this weekend, which is great to see. This car here, this is Nicola and Andrew. It's Nicola Deirdre and Andrew Henson. Again, a car close to my heart, a car I remember hill climbing from when I was coming to this paddock 25 years ago at the time. And it's one runoff, this car, which is really cool. 2-litre engine in the back of that. What else? Oh, let's have a quick look at the Scooby. This is why, unfortunately, well, he's still here, so maybe he's going to run tomorrow if he can crowbar the bodywork off. I don't know. Who knows? It looks a bit tough, doesn't it? It's had a bit of a front-end whack. This was the car that went into the rector cell at the bottom S. But given the speed, I don't know if you were watching the stream earlier. Night Grove, see you tomorrow. Don't know if you were watching earlier, but the speed he hit the barrier, must have been doing 30 miles an hour when he hit the barrier, and it took the energy brilliantly well, and yes, there's damage, but remarkably little given the size of the impact. So that's why you have rector cell on the bottom S, which let's hope we see him out tomorrow. I don't know, it might be done for the weekend, but I think he got away with it a little bit there, and the main thing is he's perfectly all right. Who else should we have a chat with up here? Let's go and have a look at this. Let's look at the Bug. Why not? It's fantastic. All the way from Australia. Oh, it's got the back end off it. So it's clearly doing a load of work to the rear of it. But it's absolutely single seat, central driving position. Absolutely fantastic. Had a great day today. Can I have a word about the car? Is Wayne around? So... We can wait a second. We do a live stream on YouTube. We're streaming now, and we get viewers from Australia all the time. So we thought we'd have a word with Wayne to see how he's getting on. Oh no, Wayne coming back. So yeah, we thought we'd have a word. So it'd be great to have a word. Hope I didn't interrupt his tyre chat. But yeah, this fantastic Beetle, flat 4 in the back, I believe, turbocharged, well over 400 horsepower, absolutely brilliant. Wayne, can we have a word?
Yeah, sure.
By the way, a pleasure to meet you. Lovely to meet you, Wayne. How are you doing?
Really well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to Shelsley Walsh.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Lovely, lovely venue. Very friendly people.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Now, we stream a few of the events on YouTube. We'll be streaming all day tomorrow. We get a lot of Australian viewers, so I thought I'd come down and have a chat. Yeah. How's it going so far? How's the first? You've done Harewood and Gersten, and now here. How's it going?
We have. Yeah, Harewood was a really, really good venue. Great track for us. Gersten, we were enjoying the first day of competition until Phoenix, our VW Superbug, decided to do a big leap off Ashes or Deer's Leap, I think they call it, and carried the front wheels for quite some way and landed in the grass and up against a wall and did quite a lot of damage. So I've had my son here this week. I picked him up from the airport Tuesday morning, and he's been helping me all week manufacture new control arms and A-arms and repair mudguards, and we've just been doing heaps and heaps of work on the car just to get here. We've got to put a huge thank you in to the gentleman that owns the green and yellow Porsche just over here. I'm having a brain meltdown. I can't even think of his name.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it'll come back to me. He offered us his garage for the week and his hoist and kindly moved his cars out of his shed, and we had a Phoenix up on the hoist on Tuesday, pulled it all apart.
Got it fixed?
Yeah, and got it fixed. And I can't remember his name. Mr. Howell.
Paul.
Paul, thank you. Paul Howell. Well, Paul's been absolutely magnificent. He's rung around, he's sourced parts for us, he's sourced materials so we can make all the new suspension parts. He's introduced me to another gentleman by the name of Bob at Concept Racing. Bob was really, really helpful in the supply of materials. Paul, while we were running around getting arms manufactured, was working on that Beetle, repairing mudguards and painting parts. He was so good, really, really good.
Well, that's really what the spirit of hill climbing is all about.
Oh, it really is. We did a quick dash down to a Julian shop at Simpson Motorsport.
Yeah.
When I told Julian the story, he stopped work on his customers' cars and he gave us a hand. He did a fantastic job. We're doing all the TIG welding on the new arms, and the community, the UK community and hill climb community are just wonderful, wonderful people.
So what made you bring the car over? Because 2 months to come over, which is incredible, because it's as far as you can come, basically. What made you think I want to go on an adventure and do some hill climbing in the UK?
Well, we're focused on getting to an air-cooled VW race meeting in Germany. So my wife Jill and myself last year went for a trip to Germany to check out the air-cooled race weekend, meet all them and folk who we'd been chatting to on Facebook for many years, and then we flew to Leeds, went to Harewood Hill Climb to check out the scene there, so that we could establish what it was like before we made the commitment. I couldn't justify doing just one event. It was just, which would have been the German race meeting, but it was just too expensive to do that. So
if you're coming, you're coming.
That's it. So we decided to make a 6-week racing trip out of it. And in between race meetings, we're catching up with family in both Ireland and England. And we're just having a ball. And we're meeting so many new people. I mean, it's unfortunate to have a race crash and damage the car on the other side of the world. I've met so many beautiful people in the process of repairing the car. Yeah. People we would never have met.
No, exactly that. And it's great to see it here. And so, first day at Shelsley, how's it been? What do you think of the hill?
The hill's fantastic. It's very narrow at speed. It's very technical. It's a lot more technical than what it looks on the live streams. And I've been watching the live stream for 12 months. But the hill itself is wonderful. It's very steep, like our own local track in Wollongong. It's called Huntley Hill Climb. And I know all my mates from Wollongong Sporting Car Club will be watching the live stream as well. So you'll be getting a whole bunch of extra people watching from Australia.
Oh, brilliant. They'll hopefully stay up late to watch you tomorrow then.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few that will. Yeah, we could say hi to Greg Jones and Gary Bridgewater, Mum and Dad. And I'm really, really pleased to have my son here. As I mentioned, I picked him up from the airport. And then also I've got my wife Jill, Jill's over here.
Hi, Jill.
She's my number one pit crew.
Yeah, you've got to have that.
Yeah, there was only Jill and myself for Harewood.
Yeah.
When we went to Gersten, then Ben Ford and his wife Cindy, they flew in and came to Gersten to give me a hand. Ben's my workshop technician in our VW shop in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
it's a full team trip then?
It is.
Oh, that's amazing. And at the car itself, so let's talk powertrain, because it's not your standard Beetle engine back there.
Well, it is still a Volkswagen engine, so it's an air-cooled Type 4 engine out of a VW bus, like your surfer's van.
Really?
Yeah, it is. So it started life as a 2-litre combi engine, and then we bored and stroked it to 2.8 litres, turbocharged, fuel injected, intercooled, and it's running on methanol.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so it's had a few tweaks, we'll say.
Yeah, just a little bit of breathing on it.
Probably a little bit better than the original 60 horsepower it was manufactured or delivered off the factory showroom with.
Yeah, the size of the rear slicks would probably give that away.
Yeah, you could say that. We've tuned it on methanol. On 25 pounder boost, it makes 550 horsepower at the tyres. Wow. And then for this European trip, we've just turned the tune down to 22 pound, which is 42 at tyres, just to look after the motor.
Yep.
And we really had planned a trip where we didn't have to work on the car. But
these things happen.
These things happen, they really do.
And the other thing about Shelsley, which you don't see on the stream, is that there's a sharp right-hand corner after the finish.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
That's
I had all these wonderful people, local people, coming and giving me advice this morning on what to do, where to position myself on the start line, what to do, where to put myself at each corner. Not one of them told me to brake at
the finish
line.
Yeah.
So I've powered through the finish line as I normally would. Got off the throttle onto the brakes, and as I crested the hill, I went, oh shit.
I did see on your second run you didn't make that mistake, because I saw you lock up as after the finish.
Yeah, that was a bit of an experiment. I really pushed the pedal hard to pull up to see how quick it would pull up, and I know now what I need to do tomorrow through competition. So
excellent. Well, that's what practice day is all about.
It is indeed. Yeah, no, we've had a great day, mate. Thank you.
Good. Well, Wayne, it's a pleasure talking to you. Pleasure to meet you. We'll come and find you at lunchtime tomorrow, if that's all right.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's fine.
Great. All right. All the best, and see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fantastic? I thought I'd come a long way to be here from Brixton, not Australia, and the car's been travelled for 2 months to be here. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, come and have a look at this. What's Alan McDonald doing on the front of his, doing some work on the front of the Force. So this is quite a monster, 1300cc supercharged Hayabusa in the back of it. Very, very quick car indeed. Looks like some suspension and brake change by the looks of things. Maybe some fresh pads for tomorrow, but he went well today. And this is the sort of sports car section. So we have the Mallock down here. This car's been hill climbing 30 years, I bet you. Very, very quick car indeed still. Very, very light. Loads of aero. In the sort of early 2000s, they were going as quickly around Silverstone as Formula 3 cars were Clubman's cars, really quick indeed. And 2 radicals as well, an SR1 and an SR3, and we're starting to see more and more of those hill climbing. Again, really great way to go hill climbing. Really, really nice car. Who else can we see? Well, let's quickly say hi to Zach. Zach, how's it going?
Very good.
So you're on the stream, don't worry, don't swear. How's the car?
Car's good. We had some little things. We've sorted them out, and I'm the problem at the moment.
No, not at all. You're just getting your eye in.
Yes. Haven't driven the car since September, so
Oh, was that here, or where was the last time you drove it?
We drove it at Lowton, September last event last year, and so yeah, just getting up to speed. Forget how good the brakes are on these cars. Keep braking too early. So.
Well, that's fine. That's what practice is all about.
Yes. Yeah, and we're in one piece. We'll
exactly.
Tomorrow.
Well, good luck tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, Zach. Hi, Lloyd. You all right?
Yeah,
oh, is that my hat?
Well, I found it in the commentary
It's
box.
mine.
I found this lovely hat in the commentary box. I thought you might want it back.
Thank you very much. This is Lloyd, by the way, fellow Top Box commentator. You'll have, if you watched the stream from Braga, they'll have recognised you on the stream.
Well, yes. Do you know what? It was a weird story because I got into commentary because Shelsley Walsh HillClimb put an Instagram post up saying, "Do you see yourself as the next commentator? You know, whatever it may be. Come and have a go." So we went and had a go. There's a few of us went, and I got a gig to do the commentary. But yeah, the next week they said Toby Moody messaged and he said, "What are you doing next weekend?" I was like, "I don't know." He said, "Do you want to go to Portugal?" I was like, "Yes." He said, "So you're going to do this?" So obviously that's when I met you.
Yep.
And we met at the Luton Airport, I think it might have been.
It's a glamorous departures hall.
Glamorous airport, yeah. So and then we went and flew out to Portugal and saw the Masters and kind of faked it till we made it.
The rest is history, eh?
So a beautiful romance was made.
One takeaway from today?
One takeaway from today is Top S's looks very, very tricky. A few incidents this morning, but everybody's kind of kept it clean this afternoon. I think Paul Hames for me, probably driver of the day.
He was quick, wasn't he?
He was quick and he made everything look so much easier where everybody else was struggling. So yeah, top marks for Paul Hames.
I might go and see if I can find him. Anyway,
if you can.
See you tomorrow. Right, who else can we see? So this is a lovely view. I love this time of day at Shelsley. End of the last run on the Saturday, everyone fettling their cars, cleaning them, getting them ready for tomorrow, starting to go to the bar for a beer. It's a really, really nice time of the evening and lots of data to be looked at. We'll quickly have a look down here. Don't get hit by that Reliant, sorry. These cars here, so we've got the start of the really big boys from sort of the Harry Picks Red OMS onwards. They're all the unlimited class cars. Here we've got forced induction cars, so turbocharged, supercharged cars under 2 litres, so usually 1300cc high boosters, which have been either supercharged or turbocharged. The Chalmers car is different. It's actually I think it's VW bottom end, bike top end, or have I got that the wrong way around? And it's turbocharged. Really, really interesting car. Sounds fantastic as well. Sounds like an old rally car when it's on the anti-lag. And James and John, Dad and Lad, and this is James's first year in the big car, which is really, really good to see. I think they're a bit busy, so I'm not going to disturb them. This is the Hames car, a fantastic car this, when it's on song, absolutely brilliant. Went really well today, straight into the 25s this morning, no messing. So really, really good drive from Paul. Who else do you think we can see? I might see if I can quickly grab a word with Matt Ryder, if he's still here. Let's see if he is. Whilst Richard looks at all the cars in the paddock, we'll see if we can find Matt. Let's see. Actually, also, let's just have a look quickly here, at this car, because it was in pieces this morning after an accident at Top S for Nicola. I'll see if I can quickly ask Dave how it went. I won't stick the camera in his face, but I will quickly ask how he went in that first run. Dave, I'm not going to stick the camera in your face, I promise, but I am going to ask, how did it go?
It wasn't too bad, to be honest. It was a little bit off on the steering, but it's pretty bang on, if I'm honest with you. Yeah,
incredible effort by everybody to get it fixed.
Oh yeah, no, worked a treat really. Can't fault them really, but yeah, a couple of splinters here, there, and everywhere from the carbon, but that's about it. So yeah, Nicola's feeling a bit sore, but these things happen, don't they?
Yeah. So ready to go tomorrow?
Yeah.
And straight into the 25s as well.
Yeah, I was a bit reserved, but I listened to all the others, so the S's isn't great, so I was mindful of that. Yeah, just wanted to get to the top, really. So,
well done for being able to get out. That's fantastic, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I love that. Typical racing driver, reserved, and he does a 25 run up Shelsley. That's brilliant. I love that. And we've got Trev sitting here, Trevor Willis, sat there. on there. What?
It drives a standard Clio.
Oh, hello. How you doing? All right.
Saxo.
Oh, really? Where's your car? Should we go and have a look at it?
A little black Saxo, yeah, it's just over there.
Oh, let's come and have a look then.
And it is completely standard road car, except I put some sticky tyres on for this.
Wow.
And there it is. There's a black one over there.
What's your name?
It's Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Bruce. I'm Bill. Come on through. Let's have a look. So this is your... Let's have a look at the Saxo. Have you done much hill climbing before, Bruce?
Pardon? I haven't done all that many hill climbs before. I mostly have been doing sprints. I've been doing sprints for the last 20 years. And this car is extremely competitive in sprints because there's a class for totally unmodified road cars. And it usually wins its class because there's an up to 1600 class. Whereas here it's up to 2 litres and it's road going, which means you can do all sorts of things to it, although it still has to be road legal. But this, as I say, is completely standard, except I bought a set of sticky tyres to go on it for the hills. But I drive it to all the events. I live in Dover, or near Dover.
Oh, well, you've come away then.
Yeah, it took me 6 hours to get here yesterday.
Blimey.
Traffic on the motorways, it was awful. So yeah, and tomorrow night I shall have to drive it back home again. Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yes, and is this your first Shelsley?
No, this is my 3rd or 4th Shelsley. But because of putting the sticky tyres off, I knocked the best part of a second off my best time today.
Very nice. So, are you enjoying it as the weekend?
Yeah, I love it. And tomorrow I'm hoping to get that practice time either emulated or better tomorrow.
Yes. And that's the great...
Counts.
Yeah, well, that's the time runs tomorrow. But that's the great sort of thing about hill climbing is it's very democratic in that everybody can take part in whatever car you've got.
Absolutely, yes, indeed. But I thought it might be interesting for you to talk to somebody, if you like, at the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you for coming over and saying hello.
You're welcome.
And best of luck tomorrow. I hope to see another half a second off your PB.
I would like to get it down into the 38s, which only actually requires another quarter of a second off.
Well, if you...
hoping for that.
We'll do that in the first run and then see how far close you get to the 37s after that.
Let's hope. But the last time I was here, which I didn't have the sticky tyres, and I made quite a close acquaintance to the bank coming out of Top S. And I've still got a chunk of grass trapped between the tyre and the rim.
Oh, really?
On one of these.
Oh, really?
One of these wheels.
As a memento?
Yes, quite.
Yeah, Top S has been tricky today.
Well, it's the key. Getting through the S's and getting a quick exit from the S's is the key to this place.
Yeah.
Because in a car like this, and indeed for a lot of cars here, to be honest, it's absolutely flat from the start line until you get to the S's.
Yeah.
And so you've got to brake as late as you can for the bottom S and be careful through the S's and not hit the bank on the way
on the
out
exit.
to the top S.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the secret to this place as far as I can see.
Yeah. Well, best of luck tomorrow. Pleasure meeting you and pleasure talking to you. Good luck tomorrow.
Very much.
Good. Cheers, thank you. We might quickly just speak to Tom Weaver. Tom, can I say hello?
Hello.
Don't say, oh no, that's not what you meant.
Hello.
What's this Empire Eva of yours? Looks a lot like a Citroen Saxo.
Well, we've taken the wings off.
Yep.
We've put a bodywork on and we've taken about half the horsepower away.
And added some weight?
Yeah, about 3 times the weight.
So why are you in the Saxo?
Dad's first practice run this morning, the rear rocker arm, one of the rear rocker arms, cracked basically at S approach. Similar to, I think Terry Graves had the same thing happen in the GR55 in, I think it was August last year.
I remember that, yeah.
So it was another 3 wheels trying to stop it before you get to the rectal at bottom S, which luckily he did. So it's damage limitation and that we haven't had a crash as a result of what's happened, but obviously we have that to sort out. So hopefully we'll be at Lowton for the Midland round next week. So then plan B was Formula Ford, but we've got circuit racing gearing in because we did Anglesey a few months ago. So plan C, luckily Liz wasn't entered, so we could both drive this.
Oh, brilliant. Did you have to ask really nicely? Or?
Well, luckily she was at work, so by the time then she got here about 4 o'clock and went, why's my car here?
Well, there's a story there.
Yeah.
And how's it, because your Empire's new to you this year, isn't it? How's it going?
Well, if you'd have asked me this morning, really well.
Apart from that, sorry.
Yeah. No, so with the Suzuki GSXR, but the L Series, so that's the new progression that's coming through. The Morgans had it last year, Derek Sweeney on the end, he's got that engine, so it's about 200 horsepower at the wheels from a bog standard engine at the bike. Whereas the K8 that we had in the old car, if we'd have spent a lot of money on it, we'd have probably just about got it to 200 brake. So essentially it's worked out cheaper to get a new chassis as well as a new engine, and also the potential of the development. The Morgans have got an engine, it's not in the car this weekend, that's got about 220, 225.
Wow.
Which is bordering on decent 1600 power.
Yeah.
A lot less money. So it's sort of the way that I imagine the 1100 class is going to go over the next couple of years. So it's quite exciting to be one of the first.
Yeah. And you enjoying the car, apart from the small problem today?
Yeah, really. It's the handling changes from the Evo. Obviously, we were Evo 1, now we're Evo 2, and it's a fair difference. It took a little bit of getting our heads around it, but I think we've got used to it quite quickly, to be fair. I mean, last time here in May, I did a PB, like a tenth quicker than my time in the old car. I did a PB at Gersten, just off my PB at Lowton, but that was like back in April. So it's not taking, I think, as long as we feared for the times to get back up to where they were, at least. So hopefully, over time, they should. It's nice to be able to have a fair fight with Stuart and Dave this year. Whereas last year it was try your absolute best in the corners, and then you'd lose out on the straights. Whereas now we've got similar levels of power. So it's you know, if I do a good run, I can win the class now. So that's
not tomorrow in this.
No, but I'm actually.
Are you in the class? You've moved classes.
Yeah. I shared this with my sister in September at one of the B meetings last year, and I got down to a 38.01. So I was really determined to do a 37, but I didn't know when I'd ever get to drive it here again. So it's presented an opportunity, and I did a 37.9 on that second run. So,
oh, there you go.
So something good's come out of it.
Yeah. Well, go well tomorrow and enjoy it.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of fun. It saves waste in the entry fee, so...
well, exactly.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. See you tomorrow. So are we... Rich, do we quickly have a word with Matt, Scott and Matt? Should we do that? Why don't we go and have a quick word with Scott and Matt? Where is Matt? He's there. And he's sat on purpose on his car. Great day.
Yeah, fantastic day. A couple of runs with different conditions, the track getting better each time, but yeah, in the end I was quite happy with my final run. If it was a little bit dusty still, hopefully it'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah. And the last one, was it mid-23s?
Yeah, mid-23 in the end, which I was quite pleased with. I had a bit of a moment in crossing where I think I got a bit closer than I'd like to the Armco on the outside, which made me take...
Yeah, did you touch it?
If I didn't touch it, I was quite close, closer than I'd like. I think there was a little bit of dust at the edge, and I was going closer and closer, thinking, oh, this is a bit much, and then it did move more than I had planned it to. But we live to tell the tale, and I'm hoping with some slightly better tyres and a bit less dust tomorrow, we'll be on for a good day.
Brilliant. Well, have a good day tomorrow. Well done today.
Thank you very much.
So that's your fastest man from today. Also championship leader, Matthew Ryder at the moment, after 2 wins at Harewood. Did you win 2 at Gersten? You did, didn't you?
I won 1.
You won 1, Alex won 2. So I got it the wrong way around. Whoops. But anyway, 3 wins for the season so far out of 5. That's the best start he's had to a year ever, I think, as he's only still getting used to this car. So I think, should we sign off for the day, Rich? I think we'll sign off for the day. Great to speak to you all. Speak to you tomorrow. If you live nearby, get in your car, get down here, buy a ticket.
Hill climbing is one of the most popular forms of motorsport. Drivers compete against the clock over a tarmac course, typically around 1 to 1.5 kilometres long. It attracts a whole range of cars, from road-going saloons to specialised single-seater racing cars. The British Hill Climb Championship is the pinnacle of the sport, with over 150 drivers tackling 14 events around the UK, including Northern Ireland and Channel Islands. The contest for the title of British Hill Climb Champion is dominated by powerful race cars, with reigning champion Wallace Menzies driving a Gould single-seater powered by a 3.3-litre Cosworth engine designed for the Indy race car series in the USA. The BHC Cup runs alongside the main championship and is fought out between a wide range of cars, all running in classes of similar type of vehicles, from road-going saloons all the way through to specialised single-seater race cars. Hill climbing is one of the most popular forms of motorsport. Drivers compete against the clock over a tarmac course, typically around 1 to 1.5 kilometres long. It attracts a whole range of cars, from road-going saloons to specialised single-seater racing cars. The British Hill Climb Championship is the pinnacle of